In the quiet stillness of night, when the world finally exhales and surrenders to silence, there exists a rare opportunity, an invitation to return to ourselves. Beyond the restless thoughts, beyond the constant hum of daily life, lies a sacred threshold. It is here, in this delicate in-between space, that we begin our journey into deep rest, but not merely rest of the body, rest of the spirit, rest of the heart. For centuries, seekers of peace have turned to the wisdom of sound, not noise, but sacred vibration. Across snow-covered peaks of the Himalayas, in candlelit temples draped in saffron banners, and in hidden forest monasteries, where the wind speaks in ancient tongues, monks and mystics have used sound not only as a tool, but as a doorway, a portal into serenity, into sleep, into union with the eternal breath of the universe. And tonight, you are invited to walk through that same door. As you listen, know this: what you are about to experience is not a performance. This is not merely music, nor just a soothing track to accompany your dreams. This is a ritual, a sacred encounter. Each syllable you'll hear is infused with centuries of devotion. Each tone is a thread in a vast web of healing, tied to the collective consciousness of seekers who, like you, have longed for peace. Each vibration echoes the voice of those who came before, masters, wanderers, sages, who found in these sounds not just sleep, but awakening. You may be lying in your bed, or curled up on a couch, wrapped in a blanket of quiet. Perhaps you are exhausted, longing for a pause that goes deeper than the body. Or maybe you're simply curious, drawn by something unspoken, something ancient, something sacred. Whatever brought you here, know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. This moment has been waiting for you. Take a deep breath. Let your eyes soften. Let the jaw unclench. Feel the shoulders lower, just a little. Listen not with the mind, but with the space behind the heart. There is no effort here, no doing, just presence. Let go of the notion that you must fall asleep. Sleep is not a goal to chase. It is a gift that arrives when you become still enough to receive it. In the ancient teachings of Tibetan Buddhism and various branches of Mahayana thought, the night is not seen as a void to be filled or a time of nothingness. It is seen as a sacred gateway, a passage through which the soul sheds the burdens of the day and returns to its original state, luminous, expansive, and free. The night, they say, is not dark. It is deeply lit from within. That inner light, the one you were born with, has never gone out. These mantras are not meant to add anything new to you. They are here to remove what is false, to clear the dust, to reveal what has always been underneath, the calm, radiant essence of your being. As the sounds begin to wash over you, you may feel a soft tingling behind the eyes. You may sense the body growing heavier, as if the earth itself is gently pulling you back to her embrace. You may even find your breath becoming quieter, your heart slower. This is not hypnosis. This is return. You are returning to your natural state. And while modern science now begins to map the neurological effects of certain frequencies and meditative chants, tracking how they stimulate the vagus nerve, lower cortisol, and increase theta waves, long before this data existed, monks knew by experience what machines are only now confirming: that sound can change the body. That intention changes the brain. That sacred vibration is not entertainment, it is medicine. But not all sound is the same. What you are about to hear are not random syllables. They are ancient keys, mantras, passed down orally across generations, meticulously preserved, often in Sanskrit or Tibetan. Languages not merely designed for communication but vibration. Each sound in these languages carries a frequency that resonates with specific chakras, organs, and states of consciousness. It is not just poetic, it is precise. For example, the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, which you will soon hear, is said to contain the entire essence of the Buddhist teachings in one phrase. Each word purifies a specific aspect of being. Om purifies pride and ego. Mani purifies jealousy. Padme purifies desire and attachment. Om purifies aggression and hatred. In a single breath, we become lighter. In repetition, we dissolve. So as we begin, let the first sounds greet you like a gentle visitor. No need to understand, only to receive. Even if you fall asleep within minutes, which many often do, the mantra continues to work, seeping beneath the layers of consciousness, harmonizing body and soul while the waking mind rests. Let the sound enter you, not as something foreign, but as something familiar, as though it were calling something ancient and forgotten within you to rise again. Perhaps a part of you that remembers sitting before a temple, eyes closed, breathing with the rhythm of the mountain wind. Perhaps a part that remembers silence, not as absence but as the mother of all things. That silence has returned now, riding in on the back of sacred sound. In these first few moments, allow everything to slow. There is nowhere to be, nothing to do. Your only task is to listen, not just with ears but with your skin, with the soles of your feet, with the back of your neck, with the space between your thoughts. If you feel a tear rise, let it. If you feel warmth, welcome it. If you feel nothing at all, do not worry. The seeds are still being planted. Healing does not always feel like fireworks. Sometimes it feels like sleep, like surrender, like a long-awaited exhale. What begins now is not merely the path toward sleep. It is a ceremony, the sacred descent into peace. You are not falling asleep. You are rising into your truest self, one breath at a time. And so we begin. There is something profoundly ancient about the human relationship with sound. Long before the invention of language as we know it, before alphabets and grammar, before the written word etched stories into stone or paper, sound was our first bridge to the sacred. The rustling of wind through trees, the heartbeat of a mother against a newborn ear, the hum of fire. These were not just environmental noises. They were messages, rhythms, sacred signs of presence and connection. Somewhere in the deep subconscious of the human soul, we remember this. We recognize that certain sounds don't just enter the ear. They resonate through the body, shift our awareness, change our emotional chemistry. And in the stillness of night, when the distractions fall away, and the spirit seeks refuge, these ancient vibrations begin to awaken us, not in the way of stirring from sleep, but in the deeper sense of remembering who we are. This is where the power of mantra enters. To the Western mind, the word mantra is often reduced to a motivational slogan, a repetition of a personal affirmation, but its origins stretch much farther and deeper. In Sanskrit, man means mind, and tira means instrument or tool. A mantra then is a tool for the mind, a vibrational key that unlocks dormant dimensions of consciousness, not through rational thought, but through resonance. When a mantra is spoken, whispered, or even thought with intention, it generates a frequency, both physical and metaphysical, that reverberates throughout the nervous system. This frequency interacts with the biofield, the energy matrix that surrounds and penetrates the body, often described in yogic terms as the pranic or chi field. The mantra acts like a tuning fork, bringing chaotic vibrations back into harmony, syncing mind and breath, emotion and awareness. In Buddhist traditions, mantras are more than meditative aids. They are embodiments of enlightened energy. Each mantra is associated with a specific deity, a bodhisattva, or a principle of universal truth. But these are not gods in the mythological sense. They are archetypes of awakened consciousness. When we chant their mantras, we do not invoke something separate from ourselves. We awaken those same qualities within us. Consider this in the Vajrayana tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. Practitioners spend years in mantra recitation, not merely as a devotional act, but as a process of deep inner transformation. The repetition is not mechanical, it is alchemical. Every syllable, carefully preserved across centuries, carries with it the encoded wisdom of entire lineages. And what makes these mantras even more remarkable is their accessibility. You do not need to be a monk. You do not need to understand Sanskrit or Pali. You do not need to change your belief system. These are universal vibrations. They bypass dogma. They transcend culture. They belong to no one and yet speak to everyone. Let us imagine for a moment a mountain temple at dawn. The sky still wrapped in indigo, the air laced with incense. A group of monks seated in stillness, eyes closed, bodies upright like trees, begin to chant in unison. The first vibration, deep, slow, grounded, emerges like a distant drumbeat of the earth itself. As the mantra flows, their voices become one body, one breath. You can feel the ground vibrating beneath you. You are not merely listening, you are being sung by the sound. This is not poetic imagery. It is an invitation to recognize that you too are a resonant being. Your body, your thoughts, your dreams, they all vibrate. And when those vibrations are in disharmony, when anxiety loops, when tension knots, when sleep evades, the right mantra can act like a cosmic tuning fork, bringing you back to your true pitch, your essence, your sacred rhythm. And science, as it often does, has begun to catch up. Modern studies have shown that specific mantras, when chanted repetitively, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest, repair, and restoration. The relaxation response, as Dr. Herbert Benson termed it, is easily induced by repetitive sound paired with intention. Brain scans of experienced chanters reveal increased alpha and theta activity, those same brainwaves associated with deep meditation and the early stages of sleep. But more than the physical, there is something metaphysical taking place. Mantras seem to possess a mysterious intelligence. They meet each practitioner where they are. To the restless, they bring calm. To the grieving, they bring solace. To the seeker, they bring insight. And to the weary soul who longs for sleep, not just to rest the body, but to ease the spirit, they bring a gentle descent, like feathers falling through the sky. In this space, with your breath slowing and your awareness softening, you are entering what ancient mystics called liminal space, the threshold between waking and dreaming, matter and spirit. It is here that the mantra does its deepest work. But remember, this is not about effort. In many traditions, the most powerful mantra recitation is not loud, nor forceful. It is whispered, or even internal. The yogis speak of a japa japa, the mantra that repeats itself silently, without conscious effort, like the heartbeat or breath. In this way, the mantra becomes a living presence within you. Even when you sleep, it continues. Even when you forget, it remembers. There is a beautiful story told by Tibetan teachers of a monk who, in the final days of his life, fell into a deep coma, his breathing shallow, body still. Those around him believed he had already begun to transition. But when they leaned closer, they heard something astonishing from deep within. His lips were moving, ever so slightly, reciting the sacred syllables of his lifetime mantra. Though unconscious, the sound remained, a thread connecting his soul to the sacred, guiding him gently into the next realm. Though we are not preparing for death here, we are entering a symbolic death each night, a letting go of form, identity, grasping. In this space, the mantra is our guide, a lantern in the dark, a lullaby for the soul. And so, as we prepare to hear the first sacred mantra in this journey, let us approach it with reverence, not as a tool to force sleep, but as a sacred companion, as a rhythm that reminds us who we are beneath the surface of worry, thought, and noise. You do not need to chant along. You may, if you wish. You may whisper. You may listen. You may simply breathe. The mantra is not limited by volume. It is empowered by presence. And know this, even if you do not understand the words, the vibration itself carries meaning. The mantra knows what to do. Like rain falling upon the earth, it nourishes what is ready to bloom. You do not need to direct it. You need only to allow. As you lie here, body growing heavier with each breath, heart a little more open, mind a little more still, feel the spaciousness growing around you. There is nothing in this moment but the rise and fall of breath, the hush of the night, and the quiet anticipation of something ancient arriving once more. You are not alone. You are held in the same field of sound that has embraced seekers across centuries and continents. In temples and forests, in caves and palaces, in the smallest huts and the grandest halls, this vibration has echoed. And now it echoes in you. Let the silence between each word be part of the mantra. Let the pauses teach you as much as the sounds. Rest in that space. It is in the emptiness between syllables that the soul often finds its home. Sleep will come, or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are here, listening, opening, letting go. As we approach the first mantra in this sacred sequence, may you feel the weight of the day dissolve. May the sound carry you, not away from yourself, but into yourself, into the center of stillness that has always been waiting, just beneath the noise. This is where we meet the mantra, in the quiet, in the surrender, in the sacred. Now, there is a moment, barely noticeable, in which sound becomes silence. Not because it stops, but because we stop separating ourselves from it. What was once external, now feels internal. What once came from outside the body, now seems to arise from within. This is not an illusion. This is not metaphor. This is resonance. This is entrainment. The sacred dance of energy aligning itself, sound becoming breath, breath becoming stillness, stillness becoming awareness. As we continue our descent into deep rest, it becomes more evident that sleep is not a destination, but a dissolving. Not a state we reach, but one we remember. The sacred mantras we will explore are not lullabies in the ordinary sense. They are frequencies of remembrance. And this remembrance is not of memory, not of the past. It is a remembrance of essence, of origin, of the self that existed before identity, before language, before the constant inner monologue. We live in a time and culture obsessed with noise, not just the noise of traffic, alerts, conversations, but mental noise, chatter, planning, analyzing, regretting, hoping. A mind trained to constantly react becomes a mind unable to surrender. And yet surrender is the threshold to sleep. It is the same threshold that opens to meditation, to presence, to healing. How do we cross that threshold? The ancient teachers knew that the mind does not obey commands to be quiet, but it does respond to rhythm. The repetition of a sacred sound, especially one infused with centuries of devotion and symbolic power, offers the mind a place to rest, not through suppression, but through transmutation. This is why the mantras are spoken again and again, not for the purpose of persuasion, but purification. like water passing repeatedly over a stone. Each repetition smooths the roughness, polishing the surface, revealing the hidden light beneath. In the third stage of our journey tonight, we begin to explore not just the nature of the mantra, but how it is received, how it enters not only the ear, but the nervous system, the energetic body, the subconscious. Let us begin with the breath. In traditional meditation practice, the breath is the bridge between body and spirit, between conscious and unconscious. In fact, the Sanskrit word for breath, prana, means both life force and energy. Breath is not just oxygen, it is consciousness in motion. And the way we breathe determines how deeply we receive what is being offered. Right now, feel your own breath, not with effort, but with attention. Let it be as it is, shallow, slow, irregular. It doesn't matter. You are simply noticing. In that noticing, something begins to shift. Awareness itself is healing. Now, without forcing, invite the breath to deepen, just slightly. Inhale not to fill the lungs completely, but to welcome the breath like a visitor. Exhale, not to empty the body, but to release whatever it no longer needs to hold. As you continue breathing, notice how the body responds. The belly softens, the jaw unclenches, the throat opens. In this space of breath awareness, we prepare to receive the mantra, not just with ears, but with cells, with spirit. There are three traditional modes of mantra recitation in Buddhism: vocal, whispered, and mental. The first, vocal, is the most familiar. It activates the body, the voice, the chest. It creates a field of vibration that can be felt on the lips and in the bones. It grounds us in the physical. The second, whispered, is more intimate. It is the language of the secret self. The breath carries the sound, barely audible, and yet deeply potent. It is said that whispered mantras carry the vibration more directly to the heart center. The third, mental, is the most subtle. The mantra is not spoken aloud, nor with breath. It is visualized or intoned silently within the mind. At this level, the sound transcends physical vibration and becomes pure frequency, engaging the deeper layers of consciousness. It is here that mantra merges with meditation. Here that the boundary between you and the sound begins to fade. What matters is not which method you use, but the sincerity with which you offer your attention. Even when the mantra is simply being listened to, played softly as you lie in stillness, it works. It works not because you believe in it, but because you allow it to move through you without resistance. Tonight, as you continue listening, consider the act of listening itself as sacred, not passive, but devotional. Like sitting at the edge of a river, feeling the current without trying to change it. Just presence, just awareness. The Tibetan master Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche once said, "When you chant a mantra, it is not only your mouth that is chanting, but your whole being." And indeed, the more we listen with the whole being, the more deeply we are transformed. As you lie in your bed, or wherever you are resting, notice how the body has already begun to respond to the rhythm. The eyelids grow heavier. The breath slows, the chest softens. This is the body recognizing safety, recognizing permission to let go. In the sacred sciences of sound healing, certain frequencies are known to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest response. When this system is dominant, the immune system restores itself, muscles release, thoughts become non-linear. Dream states become accessible. The ancient yogis knew this not from machines, but from experience, from lineage, from the echoes of silence they found after sound. The mantra is not a command. It does not demand sleep. It opens the doorway. It invites. The rest is up to you. And here is the paradox. The more you try to fall asleep, the harder it becomes. The mind resists what it tries to force. But when you let go, when you simply listen, breathe, and allow, sleep comes like a soft tide, rising against the shore. This subtlest of moments, when the mantra ceases to be something you're doing, and becomes something that is simply happening through you, is sacred. That is the moment the veil lifts. And though you may not remember it in the morning, though you may drift before the final syllable fades, the resonance remains. Monks speak of this resonance as drala, a Tibetan term meaning the non-conceptual presence that arises when we align with the sacred. It's not something mystical, it's something simple, natural. The way sunlight fills a room when the window is opened. The mantra is the window. You are the room. As this process deepens, and your body begins to surrender to sleep, know this: you are not losing consciousness. You are entering another form of it. Dreamless sleep, in many Buddhist schools, is not an absence, it is a return. A return to pure awareness, unburdened by thought or story. A space beyond form, where healing happens not because we control it, but because we stop interfering with it. In that space, the mantra still echoes, gently, subtly, silently. You may not hear it, but your soul does. Your cells do. The vibration continues. Long after the conscious mind drifts away, the deeper self remains in contact with the sacred rhythm. This is why sleep becomes not just rest, but renewal. And when you wake, whether in 2 hours or 8, you may not remember the exact sounds, or the sequence, or the moments you drifted. But something will feel different, a little lighter, a little more whole. The mantra does not erase pain, but it reminds you that you are more than pain, that you are the space in which pain arises and dissolves, that you are the silence behind the sound. So now, in these final moments of preparation, simply be. Let your breath be what it is. Let your mind wander, if it must. Let your heart do whatever it needs to do. There is no need to force peace. Peace arrives when we stop resisting the present moment. You are enough, exactly as you are. You do not need to be more spiritual. You do not need to fix yourself. You do not need to chant perfectly or understand everything. The mantra understands you. The mantra has been waiting for you. And now, it begins to rise, from silence, from stillness, like a soft flame in the dark, like the moon above water, like breath returning home. Let go again, let go into sound. Not all journeys are measured in steps. Some unfold in stillness. Some are not taken with the feet, but with the breath. Some are not forward, but inward, toward a center that has no direction, no form, no edge. You are on such a journey now, not into sleep alone, but into presence, into peace, into the sacred interior, where all things begin and end in silence. The mantra is no longer a stranger. Its sound, its rhythm, its feeling, like waves you've grown familiar with, though you do not try to name the ocean. As the sacred syllables continue their subtle unfolding, you may notice something different: the space between them, the echo, the quiet aftermath of sound. These pauses are not empty. They are not absence. They are presence, without form. Each breath, each repetition, is not just leading you away from thought. It is returning you to your original spaciousness, to the inner field that existed before identity, before stress, before memory. That inner field is awareness itself. It is what watches dreams. It is what listens, even when the ears sleep. It is the same awareness that monks call the clear light, mystics call the soul, and science calls pure consciousness. In that place, the body no longer tries. The breath no longer pushes. There is no need to manipulate or control. And because there is no resistance, everything becomes lighter. Sleep is not induced, it is revealed. Now we begin to notice another quality of mantra, its circularity. Unlike language, which travels in lines, mantras move in spirals. They do not build to a climax or argument. They return again and again to the same sound. Not to repeat, but to deepen. Each repetition is not a duplicate of the last. It is a deepening, a descent. The mantra doesn't just move through time. It gathers presence, like water becoming oil. This is what makes mantra different from music or guided meditation. It doesn't carry you along a narrative. It doesn't stimulate the imagination. It invites you to dissolve into the present moment. It calls you not to dream, but to rest in what is. Even the sound itself begins to soften. Not in volume, but in quality. It becomes rounder, warmer. The vibration hums through the ribcage. The boundaries between sound and self begin to blur. And this blurring is important. In many traditions, the goal of spiritual practice is not to become someone else or somewhere else, but to dissolve the illusion of separation between you and the sacred, between you and others, between the breath and the one who breathes. The mantra becomes a vehicle for that dissolving. In the same way sugar disappears into tea, the self melts into sound. There is no longer the listener and the sound. Only listening, only presence, only now. And in this now, something remarkable happens. Your mind, once conditioned to fill silence, begins to trust it. Your heart, once guarded by layers of tension, begins to soften. Your body, once clenched by habitual defense, begins to open, not dramatically, not all at once, but gently, like a flower at night, like a tide receding from shore. This is the power of the mantra when paired with sacred attention. It is not loud, it is not urgent, it is the whisper of eternity inside the breath. Many ancient texts speak of sleep not as unconsciousness, but as a passage into subtle awareness, a different frequency of being. They speak of dreamless sleep as a mirror of enlightenment. No thoughts, no forms, no desires, just pure being. In that place, healing does not come from effort. It comes from return, from remembrance, from resonance with something older than thought. And this is where the mantra brings us, gently, faithfully, again and again. There may be moments when you feel yourself drifting, not just into sleep, but into a kind of floating, a suspension between wakefulness and dreaming. Allow that. Let go of the urge to follow thought or interpret sensation. Let the mantra do what it knows how to do. It has been used for centuries, not because it is magic, but because it is true. It resonates with the truth of what you are beneath distraction, beneath effort, beneath even your name. Let this be your only task, to trust the sound. Even if you don't understand the meaning, the vibration is working. Healing is not always a dramatic process. Sometimes it is a quiet realignment, a return to coherence, a moment where all your parts, body, mind, breath, spirit, begin to sing in harmony again. Imagine for a moment the ancient halls of a Himalayan monastery, candles flickering, snow pressing against the window panes, monks seated in silence, their robes like rivers of color in the candlelight. The sound of mantra echoing from a distant chamber, not loud, but steady, like a heartbeat, like a lullaby from the mountain itself. That same sound vibrates in you now. You are not separate from it. You are not outside of it. You are the chamber. You are the mountain. You are the stillness the sound arises from and returns to. Let that thought dissolve. Let all thoughts dissolve. And if they return, let them be carried by the mantra, like leaves floating on a river. You are not here to fix anything. You are not broken. You are not here to perfect your practice. You are here to rest, to be, to breathe, and to let sacred sound carry you wherever you are ready to go. In the dream state, thoughts become symbols, feelings become stories. But in the space before dreams, there is only openness, stillness, clarity. The mantra holds you in that space, not clinging, but cradling, not instructing, but accompanying. And so we return to the breath, not to control it, but to witness it. It is likely slower now, shallower even. That is good. That is natural. The body is preparing for deep rest. Let it happen. Let gravity hold you. Let sound carry you. Notice the rhythm, the gentle repetition, the pattern of return. Each mantra begins, unfolds, and returns, begins again. Not like a machine, but like a tide, like breath, like the heart. That rhythm is sacred. It is not merely repetition. It is ritual, and ritual is powerful, not because of what it does, but because of what it undoes. It undoes chaos. It undoes confusion. It undoes disconnection. It reminds the soul that it is not lost, that it is home. Here, now, you may feel warmth in the chest, a sensation behind the eyes, a tingling in the limbs, or you may feel nothing at all. You may feel nothing at all. You may feel nothing at all. All of it is right. All of it is the process. As the mantra continues, your only role is to allow. No mastery is needed. No concentration. The sacred doesn't demand performance. It asks only for presence. And now, as we near the conclusion of this part of the journey, rest even deeper. Let the sound wash over you, not as noise, but as nourishment. Each syllable, like water. Each tone, like light. Each repetition, like the hand of a friend, guiding you gently into the cave of stillness. And in that cave, there is no need to be anything other than what you are. This is your sanctuary. This is your temple. This is your healing. This is your sleep. And the mantra continues. Whether you are awake or not, whether you hear it or not, whether you believe or not, it continues. Like a prayer made of sound, like an echo of your own essence, calling you home. You are held. You are safe. Sleep now, if it comes. And if it does not, know that even wakefulness can be sacred when you surrender the need to resist it. This is the silence that follows sound, the peace that follows presence. This is the sacred work of letting go. There is a gentle sacredness in closure, not because something ends, but because it completes. A circle forms. A breath returns to stillness. A sound fades back into silence. And in this final moment of our first passage together, we arrive at the end not as we began but changed. Not because the world has altered, but because our inner field has softened, widened, remembered something deeper. This is the gift of intentional sound, of sacred rhythm, of mantra. To enter sleep consciously is not merely a rest of body, it is an initiation, a passage, a surrender that carries wisdom in its quiet descent. We often think of sleep as unconscious, passive, automatic. But when guided by mantra, it becomes sacred. We do not fall asleep, we return to self, to source, to the still point behind all becoming. The mantras you will soon hear, or perhaps already have as your awareness softens, are more than ancient sounds. They are vessels, carriers of something subtle yet profound. Inside each syllable is the presence of those who have repeated them with devotion, with reverence, with longing. Inside each tone is the memory of monks who sat for lifetimes in silent caves, mothers who whispered them over cradles, pilgrims who chanted them through mountain winds. That continuity, the unbroken transmission of vibration across time and space, is alive in you now. You do not chant alone. You do not listen alone. When you hear these mantras, you enter a living field of presence. You join a river that has been flowing for centuries. You add your silence to its current. Your breath becomes part of its rhythm. That is what makes this moment sacred. Right now, your body is the temple. Your breath is the incense. Your attention is the altar, and the mantra is the offering being placed gently, one syllable at a time, at the feet of your awareness. There is no need to force anything. If you are still awake, that is welcome. If you are drifting, that is welcome. If you are already dreaming, your soul will still hear this. The sacred does not depend on wakefulness. It depends only on openness. In Buddhist traditions, there is great emphasis placed not on belief, but on experience. The teachings are not meant to be accepted on faith, but tested through presence. Tonight you have entered such a test, not of will, but of surrender. And what you may discover is that surrender is not weakness. It is strength of the highest kind. The strength to trust, the courage to soften, the wisdom to yield. Let the mantra guide you further now. Imagine each repetition as a candle being placed along a path in the dark. You may not see the end of the path, but you can see the next few steps. That is enough. That is all that is ever needed. And if the path disappears and you fall into dream, into nothingness, into silence, that too is sacred. That too is healing. Perhaps you've noticed the breath is almost silent now. The body is still. There is no longer a need to do anything, not even to listen. The mantra has woven itself into your field. It echoes in the bones, in the space between thoughts, even without effort. It continues. In this final segment, we acknowledge the sacred space that has opened, not as an idea, not as philosophy, but as direct experience. A felt presence, a sanctuary without walls, a silence that breathes. Sleep is coming or has already come, but before it deepens, allow a few final invitations to settle. First, an invitation to trust what you cannot explain. The mind may seek to measure, to interpret, to label, but the deepest experiences defy that. Healing is not always visible. Insight is not always conscious. The mantra works not because you grasp it, but because you receive it. Let go of the need to understand. Let the sound work where it needs to. It knows the way. Second, an invitation to let go of control. Sleep, like love, cannot be forced. It arrives when the conditions are kind, when the body is safe, when the mind is heard and allowed to soften. The mantra does not force, it invites. Let it be the only thing you hold now, and even that, loosely. Third, an invitation to carry this presence with you, not as an effort, but as a fragrance. When you wake, whenever that may be, allow the residue of this moment to remain, not in thought, but in tone, in gesture, in the way you move through the world. The mantra is not just for the night. It is a thread that can be woven through waking life. When you face stress again, return to this sound. When you feel overwhelmed, recall this breath. When you long for peace, remember this rhythm. It is not gone, it is never gone. It lives within you, beneath the surface noise. Accessible at any moment, even in the middle of chaos. A sacred space that cannot be touched by worry, by fear, by distraction. This is the power of mantra. Not only to induce sleep, but to awaken remembrance. To remind us that we are not lost, we are not broken, we are not separate. We are sound, we are silence, we are sacred. And so in these final words that you may barely hear, or remember, or even register, know this: you are already whole, you are already healing, you are already home. The mantra will continue, the sound will soften, and you will drift. Or you will remain in quiet. Both are perfect. Let the stillness deepen. Let the breath dissolve. Let the sacred sound carry you beyond thought, beyond time, into the infinite quiet. You are safe. You are loved. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep in peace. There is a stillness just after the breath leaves the body and before the next one arrives. A space so small, so subtle, that we rarely notice it. And yet it is in that space between one moment and the next that something ancient begins to stir. It is here, in this quiet threshold, that we introduce the first sacred mantra of this journey. Om Mani Padme Hum. 6 syllables, whispered by monks across Himalayan ridges. Etched into prayer wheels spun by the hands of pilgrims, chanted in temples where time seems to stand still. These are not merely words. They are vibrations that have echoed through centuries, untouched, unbroken, unwavering. To speak of Om Mani Padme Hum is to speak of the very heart of compassion. In the Vajrayana, Buddhist tradition, this mantra is considered the embodiment of Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of infinite compassion. He who hears the cries of the world, she who reaches into every corner of suffering with a hand open, not to grasp, but to lift. In some cultures, Avalokiteshvara takes male form, in others female, but always they are the same force. The awakened presence that meets pain with boundless love. Om Mani Padme Hum is their mantra, and now it becomes yours. But what does it mean? The literal translation, though debated, often sounds like poetry. The jewel in the lotus, a symbol, yes, but also an instruction. The lotus grows in muddy water, out of decay and darkness it rises. Not by avoiding the mud, but by pushing through it. And in the heart of that flower, untouched by the filth from which it emerged, sits the jewel, the awakened self. Luminous, untainted, whole. The mantra tells us, you too are the lotus. And within you the jewel. No matter the mud around you, no matter the darkness within you, the essence remains pure. Each syllable of the mantra purifies a different aspect of being. Om purifies pride and ego. Me purifies jealousy and the need for comparison. Ne purifies passion and desire, those cravings that lead us into suffering. Pad purifies ignorance and prejudice, the veil that hides our interconnectedness. Me purifies possessiveness and attachment. Om purifies hatred and aggression, transforming them into wisdom. This is not theory. It is alchemy. Spoken with awareness, these syllables reshape the energy of the body and mind. Spoken in silence, they become music for the soul. Let us speak the mantra slowly. Let it settle into the breath. Om Mani Padme Hum. Not rushed, not recited as an obligation, but offered like incense. Like prayer, like breath on a winter morning, soft, warm, fading into air, and yet lingering in its warmth. As you hear it, or say it, or simply let it echo within you, notice the subtle shift. The spine may lengthen, the chest may open, the eyes may soften behind closed lids. You are not trying to feel anything. You are allowing what is already present to reveal itself. Compassion is not something we need to manufacture. It is our natural state, uncovered when fear is quiet, when resistance is released, when breath and presence return. The mantra doesn't create compassion, it awakens it, like striking a bell that has long been silent. The tone was always there. The mantra simply reminds it how to sing. Even if you do not chant aloud, the vibration is felt. Even if your voice is tired, or your heart feels distant, the mantra works. It does not require belief. It requires willingness. And even that, only a little. Now imagine with each repetition a layer of heaviness lifts, not from the body, but from the energetic field around it. The field where thoughts stick, where old emotions linger, where sleep struggles to enter because the clutter of unprocessed days clogs the doorway. The mantra clears that space, not violently, not aggressively, but like wind through curtains, like water over stone, gently, persistently, lovingly. And in that clearing, sleep approaches, not as a thing to chase, but as a friend returning. As the heart of Avalokiteshvara, the heart of compassion itself, expands around you like a cloak. You are not chanting to get rid of pain, you are chanting to hold it, to cradle it, to meet it with something bigger than fear. This is what Om Mani Padme Hum teaches, not escape but embrace. And in that embrace, sleep finds you. The great teacher the Dalai Lama has said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. But what he does not need to say, because it is implied, is this: if you want to rest, practice compassion. Not only for others, for yourself. Self-compassion is the doorway to deep rest, and this mantra is the key. Let it repeat now, in breath, in thought, in tone. Om Mani Padme Hum. Again, Om Mani Padme Hum. Feel how the edges blur, between syllables, between thoughts, between self and sound. Let the mantra become the lullaby that the deeper self has longed to hear, not the words but the rhythm beneath them. The rhythm that says, you are not alone, you are not wrong, you are not broken, you are held. In the silence between repetitions, listen for the echo. Sometimes it comes not as sound, but as sensation, as stillness, as warmth behind the eyes, as breath that flows without effort. Even now, if sleep begins to take you, let the mantra drift with you into the dream. Let it be the soft trail you follow as you cross the boundary into deeper awareness. In Tibetan traditions, it is said that chanting mantras at night not only purifies the present life, but sets the tone for the next. Whether or not you believe in lifetimes beyond this one, the truth remains: every night is a death and a rebirth. A chance to let go, a chance to begin again. Om Mani Padme Hum becomes not just a chant, but a cocoon, a wrapping of sacred sound around the spirit as it prepares to fly. And even if your thoughts wander, even if you forget the mantra, even if your mind drifts to the events of the day or the uncertainties of tomorrow, do not worry. Simply return. Om Mani Padme Hum. Each time you return, the mantra welcomes you without judgment. It is the embodiment of forgiveness, of gentleness, of renewal. You are not performing. You are not proving. You are simply being, held in sacred sound, held in compassion. And so, in the final moments of this portion, let go of the need to guide the mantra. Let the mantra guide you. Let it guide you into softness. Let it guide you into stillness. Let it guide you into sleep, or deeper presence, or silence. Let it guide you home. To understand the power of a mantra, one must go deeper than the sound. Beneath the syllables lie histories, philosophies, entire civilizations of inner exploration. And among the many mantras echoed through sacred halls, Om Mani Padme Hum stands with particular weight, not because it is louder or more elaborate, but because it carries the resonance of an awakened heart that seeks to alleviate the suffering of all beings. To trace its origin is to enter a tapestry woven across mountains, temples, and centuries of devotion. It is believed that this mantra was first spoken through the consciousness of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, not as a doctrine, but as a vibration, not to teach, but to liberate. In Sanskrit, the name Avalokiteshvara means the Lord who looks down with compassion, and that act, looking down, is not a gesture of hierarchy, but of care, of awareness, of presence. This bodhisattva hears the cries of the world, not in the literal sense, but as a subtle call that rises from the collective heart of all beings. It is said that when a single soul utters this mantra, even once, with sincerity, Avalokiteshvara responds, not with words, not with intervention, but with presence, with holding, with subtle guidance back to the heart. The mantra Om Mani Padme Hum was not written in the modern sense. It arose from oral tradition, passed by teachers to students in a lineage, not of power, but of devotion. It appeared in the Karandavyuha Sutra, a Mahayana Buddhist scripture dated to around the 4th or 5th century CE, where Avalokiteshvara himself gives the mantra to the world as a supreme method of cultivating compassion and purifying karma. Over time, the mantra spread across Tibet, Nepal, Bhutan, into China, Japan, and beyond. But it was in Tibet where it became not only a sacred formula, but a way of life. In Tibetan culture, Om Mani Padme Hum is everywhere. It is carved into rocks and mountainsides, painted onto prayer flags fluttering in high-altitude winds. It is inscribed on prayer wheels, cylindrical devices that, when spun, are believed to send the mantra into the universe with each rotation. It is whispered by old women walking the same path for decades. It is sung by monks in crimson robes seated before butter lamps in freezing monasteries. It is imprinted on the tongue of children before they can even speak. And in each repetition, whether in gold-leafed script or trembling breath, the intention is the same: to liberate all beings from suffering. This, in essence, is the heart of Mahayana Buddhism, the path of the Bodhisattva. One who does not seek personal enlightenment alone, but who delays final liberation until all beings are free, not out of martyrdom, but out of love. And Om Mani Padme Hum is the vocal expression of that love. Each of its 6 syllables has symbolic and energetic meaning. Om, the primordial sound, the seed syllable of the universe. It is associated with the body and purifies ego and pride. Ma, linked to the energy of ethics and detachment from jealousy. Ni, connected to patience and freedom from desire or passion. Pad, representing perseverance and release from ignorance. Me, symbolizing concentration and the letting go of possessiveness. Om, the final sound, embodying wisdom and the transformation of hatred into understanding. Each syllable corresponds not only to a psychological state, but to one of the 6 realms of existence in Buddhist cosmology: the God realm, the jealous God realm, the human realm, the animal realm, the hungry ghost realm, and the hell realm. These are not necessarily places in the literal sense, but states of consciousness that each of us cycles through, daily, hourly, moment by moment. Om Mani Padme Hum purifies all 6 realms. It doesn't erase them, it transmutes them. It reminds the listener that no matter how dark, confused, or angry a state may feel, there is always a way through. That the lotus always rises through the mud, and that ultimately is the essence of this mantra's origin, not as an escape, but as a method of transformation. A tool not to avoid suffering, but to walk through it with dignity, with clarity, with compassion. The great Tibetan teacher, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, once said, saying the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum is like cleaning a mirror that has been covered with dust for hundreds of years. That dust is not our fault. It is simply what accumulates through the conditions of life. But the mantra is the cloth. The breath is the motion. And little by little, the mirror reflects again. There is something profoundly democratic about this teaching. Unlike esoteric practices that require years of study, or rites reserved only for the initiated, Om Mani Padme Hum is available to anyone. You do not need to be a monk. You do not need a teacher, or a transmission, or a lineage. You need only a sincere heart. You need only the willingness to let the sound enter you, not as a performance, but as a prayer. Not to change who you are, but to reveal what you have always been. And the context of this mantra in the Buddhist path extends beyond sleep. It is traditionally used during life's greatest transitions: birth, death, illness, despair. It is recited during cremations, whispered into the ears of the dying, printed on amulets worn by travelers, sent into the air with incense and bells. In these moments of extremity, the mantra becomes a thread, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between the form and the formless. But tonight, we are not crossing between life and death. We are crossing between waking and sleep, between effort and surrender, between noise and silence. And in this transition, the context of Om Mani Padme Hum serves as a light, not a flashlight blazing ahead, but a lantern held quietly at the heart. It says, you are safe, you are loved, you are held, even when your mind forgets, even when your breath shallows, even when your consciousness dissolves into dreams. The mantra continues. That is the power of sacred sound, rooted in sacred context. It does not require your full attention to work, but when given even a sliver of attention, it opens a door you did not know was there. A door not to elsewhere, but to here, to now, to the heart. And so, let the mantra continue in the background of your awareness, not as a task, but as a blessing. Let it echo like a river beneath the surface of your thoughts. Let it repeat silently, or aloud, or simply in the breath itself. There is no right way, there is only the invitation. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let the sound be an offering. Let the history behind it wrap around you like a prayer shawl. Let the lineage of voices seen and unseen chant it with you as you sleep. And as you drift, remember, this mantra was born not from the desire to escape suffering, but from the commitment to meet it with love. You are not chanting for perfection. You are chanting to remember your wholeness. You are chanting to remember the jewel in the lotus. You are chanting to become soft again. You are chanting to sleep. And the mantra, faithful, ancient, alive, will hold you through it all. In the quiet sanctum of night, when words lose their weight and thought begins to unravel, sound becomes something else entirely. It is no longer language. It is no longer explanation, it becomes experience, presence, prayer. In this stillness, the mantra we have come to know, not only as an idea, but as a vibration, is ready to be spoken, to be felt, to be breathed. Om Mani Padme Hum, 6 syllables, ancient, elemental, a current that has carried countless souls across the turbulent rivers of thought and into the soft shore of awareness. But to truly receive the gift of this mantra, we must go slowly, intimately, tenderly, not with haste, not with repetition for repetition's sake, but as if each syllable were sacred nectar, offered drop by drop to the heart. Let us begin with the first sound, Om, a sound of origin, a seed syllable, the vibration said to contain the essence of the entire universe. Close your eyes, if they are not already closed, and let the breath come in through the nose, soft and slow. Now gently whisper, as if to the center of your own being. Feel the resonance, not just in the throat, but in the chest, in the bones of your face, in the air around you. The sound begins in the back of the throat and floats forward, like mist rising off water. Pause. Allow silence. Let the syllable disappear into stillness before the next arises. Now, let the lips part gently, just enough to release the sound, as if you were speaking to a child in sleep. Mal, it floats outward, then falls back inward, carrying jealousy, tension, and restlessness with it, transmuting them into kindness, into release. Nice. The tongue rises slightly to meet the roof of the mouth, then relaxes into the vowel. It is sharp, but not forceful, clear, but not loud. Each repetition is a refinement, not of the sound, but of the self. Padme, this syllable, grounds. It is the anchor. There is a subtle firmness in the dat, and a soft flourish in the a. Padmes. Let it land gently, like a stone skipping once before, stilling into water. May. This is the offering, the echo of release. The lightness after truth is spoken. It rolls through the air like a breath without destination. May. Let it float. Let it hover. No need to grasp it. Hum. The final note. Deep, resonant. A closure that does not end, but dissolves. Hum. Let the sound linger in the chest, in the belly, in the back of the head. Feel how it hums through you like a bell continuing after the strike. Now, one full cycle. Whisper it gently with me, or listen, or repeat silently in the breath. Om, Mal, Padme, Hum. Let the rhythm unfold naturally, without rush. Again. Om, Mal, Padme, Hum. Notice how the body responds. Perhaps the breath has deepened. Perhaps the shoulders have dropped. Perhaps there is a warmth in the hands, or a softening in the brow. These are not coincidences. They are physiological echoes of energetic alignment. The nervous system is listening. The subconscious is listening. The soul is listening. You do not need to believe anything for the mantra to work. You need only to be willing to listen and to return. Once more. Om, Mal, Padme, Hum. Now, let the mantra fall into the breath. You do not need to voice it now. Let the inhale carry Om, Mal, and the exhale carry Padme. No words, just the rhythm, just the memory of the sound moving with the breath. Inhale, exhale, again. Inhale, exhale. Let the mantra guide the breath. Let the breath guide the body. Let the body guide the mind into stillness. If thoughts arise, allow them. Let them be the wind. Let the mantra be the mountain. Return. Om, Mal, Padme, Hum. Mal, Padme, Hum. The repetition is not meant to lull you into sleep through monotony. It is meant to gently unravel the tension between you and rest. It is not a chant to escape. It is a chant to welcome. Welcome whatever arises. Welcome the discomfort. Welcome the silence. Welcome the sleep, if it comes. Welcome the wakefulness, if it remains. The mantra is not a destination. It is a companion. You may now choose to continue aloud, or silently, with voice, or with breath. You may allow it to become softer with each repetition, or let it fade into a mental whisper. Eventually, it may begin to recite itself. This is the gift of a japa japa, the self-repeating mantra, a state where the mantra continues within, without effort, like the rhythm of the heart, like the rising and falling of the sea. As we continue, I will offer a few more guided repetitions. Then I will grow quiet, so that the mantra may take root in your own rhythm, your own body, your own soul. Let us chant together a few more times, slowly, like a sacred tide. Om Mal Padme Hum. Again. Om Mal Padme Hum. Mal May Padme Hum. Let the sounds dissolve into each other. Om Mal Padme. As you lie here, becoming lighter, becoming quieter. Feel how the mantra continues even in the background. You no longer need to remember it. It remembers you. It will carry you through dreams, through silence, through the deep healing of night. You are safe. You are held. You are loved. You are the lotus, and the jewel is already within you. Sleep, if you wish. Repeat, if you are moved, or rest in the space between. The mantra remains. There are words that speak to the intellect. There are sounds that entertain the senses. And then there are vibrations that reach into the spaces beyond thought, into the energetic blueprint of who we are, into the subtle bodies that science has only begun to glimpse, and wisdom, traditions have long known as truth. The mantra Om Mal Padme belongs to the latter. Its effects cannot be measured only by volume or decibels. Its power is not a product of musical scale or lyrical beauty. It is something else, something deeper. It operates in the architecture of the unseen. To speak of its energetic effect is not metaphor. It is observation, tested across millennia by those who lived not in laboratories, but in stillness, in forests, in caves, in monastic halls where the silence was so thick it could hear a thought. These practitioners did not guess, they experienced. And what they experienced was this: that sound, when imbued with sacred intention, alters the energy of the one who receives it. Each syllable of Om Mal Padme is said to interact with one of the body's energy centers, known in yogic traditions as chakras. Though this framework differs slightly across cultures, the principle remains. Energy flows, or it stagnates. Mantra, when correctly applied, is a catalyst for flow. Om resonates with the crown chakra, the thousand-petaled lotus that connects us with Source, with the infinite. It clears the fog of ego, of self-concept, of over-identification with the temporary. It lifts the awareness upward into the sky of consciousness. Ma activates the third eye, the space between the brows where perception is refined, where clarity lives. It softens the inner critic, dismantles the patterns of judgment, awakens the ability to see beyond form. Ni moves into the throat, not only the center of expression, but of truth. It loosens the tension of unspoken fears, encourages the courage to receive without resistance. Pad aligns with the heart. It does not simply open the chest, It opens the capacity to feel without drowning, to hold pain without becoming it, to feel love without grasping. This syllable, many teachers say, is the mantra's soul. Me descends into the solar plexus, the fire center, the seat of will and purpose. But in this context, it is not to strengthen control. It is to purify it, to temper the fire, to allow effort to become ease, to convert struggle into trust. All grounds in the root, the base of the spine, the point of contact between body and earth, between spirit and matter. It dissolves fear, solidifies safety, anchors the rest. Together, these 6 syllables form a complete circuit, from crown to base, from sky to ground, from idea to embodiment. As you chant, or listen, or even simply allow the mantra to echo in your environment, these subtle shifts begin. You may not feel them as lightning bolts or visions. You may not feel them at all, but the current moves, like wind among tall grass, like tide reshaping the sand, quiet, steady, real. This is why repetition matters. The first time you hear the mantra, it may strike the surface. The second, it penetrates the outer layer. The 10th, it begins to spiral inward. The 1000th, it becomes indistinguishable from your breath, from your own inner voice. And that voice, the quiet, steady rhythm of the mantra inside you, begins to rewrite the story your body tells itself. A story that might have been shaped by fear. I am not safe. A story shaped by shame. I am not enough. A story shaped by exhaustion. I must always try. The mantra doesn't argue with these stories. It doesn't debate or disprove. It simply sings a different song. One older than trauma, one deeper than thought. Om Mani Padme Hum sings the story of wholeness, of sufficiency, of calm, and slowly, gracefully, your body remembers. You are safe. You are loved. You are already what you seek. From this remembering, the nervous system relaxes. The vagus nerve, that bridge between body and brain, begins to signal rest. Cortisol lowers. The breath evens. Muscles soften. Organs enter repair mode. The immune system switches on. These are not beliefs. These are measurable truths, and yet they are only part of the picture. Because beyond the physiology is something more tender, more sacred. The subtle emotional body, the part of you that has held sadness, fear, confusion, the echoes of past wounds, the unmetabolized stories, the griefs we never quite made room for. The mantra doesn't fix these things. It holds them. It lets them breathe. It creates an internal field so gentle, so safe, that these emotions no longer need to clench. They are allowed to rise, to move, to dissolve. And in their place, not an emptiness but a lightness, a quiet fullness, a sacred neutrality. Sleep in this context becomes not an escape from pain, but a resting into wholeness. It is the body's natural descent once the inner space is cleared. Many who listen to Om Mani Padme Hum at night find that sleep comes more easily, not because they've been distracted, but because they've been realigned. Mantra does not numb, it refines. It doesn't erase, it harmonizes. And harmony, true harmony, is the precondition for deep rest. In the Tibetan Book of the Dead, also known as the Bardo Thodol, it is said that the sound of sacred mantras can guide the soul through the intermediate states of consciousness, between death and rebirth, between one moment and the next. And while we are not speaking here of death in the literal sense, the metaphor still applies. Each night, you enter a bardo, a liminal space between waking identity and the great unconscious. Om Mani Padme Hum is your guide through that bardo, a thread across the void, a sound of remembrance, a vibrational beacon that says, even here, you are not alone. Even here, you are whole. And in this knowing, the body surrenders, the mind quiets. Sleep arrives, not as a descent into darkness, but as a return to light. It may not be dramatic. It may not be sudden, but it will be sure. The mantra never hurries. It never forces. It simply continues, whispering wholeness, breathing compassion, sounding the deep truth of the awakened heart. And you, listener, are not outside that heart. You are inside it. You are the mantra. You are the field. You are the stillness it was always pointing toward. And so allow yourself now to rest. Let the mantra carry on. Let the energy flow. Let the silence between syllables speak what words cannot. Let the breath soften. Let the sleep deepen. You are held. You are harmonized. You are healed. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now there comes a moment in every sacred practice where the sound gives way to silence, not as absence, but as culmination. A space where the echo is more powerful than the voice, where the residue of the sacred becomes its own teacher. This moment is now. We have chanted. We have listened. We have allowed the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum to enter us, not only through the ears, but through breath, through bone, through subtle memory. And now the mantra begins to step back, not to leave, but to let us feel what remains when the vibration settles. What remains is not emptiness. It is presence. The presence of the body softened, of the mind stilled, of the heart slightly opened in places long forgotten. The repetition of the mantra was never meant to be endless. It was meant to bring you here, this place between breath and thought, where the sacred is not something heard, but something known, felt, lived. And so now, we pause. Not to interrupt, but to deepen. Let the body be still. Whatever position you are in, seated, lying down, curled under a blanket, there is nothing more to adjust. Let the earth hold you. Let the breath be natural. No longer guided. No longer deepened. Just what it is. A quiet tide moving in and out of your being. Let the mind do what it wants. If thoughts come, they are not intrusions. They are weather. Let them pass. You are not here to manage experience. You are here to witness it. You are here to rest in it. And in this rest, something profound begins. The mantra continues, but not as sound, as vibration, as subtle rhythm, as imprint, like the scent of incense long after the stick has burned away. This is integration. In many contemplative traditions, Buddhist, Vedic, Taoist, there is a sacred reverence for the space after mantra, after meditation, after ritual. This space is not a transition. It is the work itself. Because here, the teaching is not intellectual. It is somatic, cellular. The mantra now moves beneath awareness. Its work is subtle, invisible, undeniable. You may notice it as a sense of spaciousness, an internal widening, or as a warm hum around the chest or brow, or a simple quiet that was not here before, or perhaps no sensation at all. All of it is right, because the point was never to feel a certain thing. The point was to stop resisting what already is. And now the sacred space created by the mantra becomes your own. You are no longer merely a listener. You are the silence. The mantra rests in. You are the container into which peace is poured. You are the field from which compassion grows. You are the stillness, Avalokiteshvara answers, not with words but with presence. And so we do not rush away from this moment. We linger. We allow. Let the stillness deepen. Let the echoes settle. Let the mantra's final syllable hum resonate through you long after it's spoken. Feel how the vibration doesn't end. It disperses. It moves outward and inward simultaneously. If this were a ritual in a Tibetan monastery, this would be the time when the monks stop chanting but remain seated. Eyes closed, bodies still. They don't rise. They don't speak. They wait, not in expectation, but in reverence. As if to say the sound was only half the practice. This is the rest. So stay a little longer in the quiet that follows sacred sound. You have earned this stillness, not by doing, but by being, by letting go, by allowing. And know that the benefits of this mantra do not stop with sleep. Each repetition has planted a seed in the soil of your awareness. These seeds do not bloom all at once. They open slowly when conditions are right. One may bloom as a moment of unexpected patience tomorrow, another as compassion for someone you once resented, another as courage to rest without guilt. The mantra continues to work even when forgotten. It is now part of you, woven into the breath, the blood, the field. And so we close not with an ending but with a returning to the quiet behind all things, to the stillness within sound, to the self before striving. Take a breath, not deep, not intentional, just true. Let it come, let it go, rest in that. If you wish, you may allow the mantra to fade completely now, or return to it later, or hold just one syllable as you fall into sleep. Om, the sound of origin. Manar, the breath of kindness. Neith, the echo of vision. Pad, the heart's steady beat. Meeth, the whisper of surrender. Om, the vibration of truth. Even one of these is enough. Even silence between them is enough. You are enough. Let go now. Let go again. Let go completely. Sleep if it comes. Wake if it doesn't. The mantra has done its work, and you have received it perfectly. There is a moment when the echo of one sound fades and the hush before the next begins. In this quiet space, the soul reorients itself, not by force, not by instruction, but by resonance. It knows when to let go. It knows when to receive again. And now, having journeyed through the mantra of compassion, we arrive at a new vibration, one that speaks not only to the heart but to the entire field of being. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The words are simple. The frequency, profound. This mantra, though composed of just two sounds, holds within it the weight of an ancient longing, the longing for peace, peace of body, peace of spirit, and peace of the world beyond all that. To speak this mantra is not to conjure peace but to remember it, to call it back from where it waits, patiently within us. In Sanskrit, Shanti means peace, but not peace in the modern casual sense, not mere calm, not simply the absence of noise. It is a deeper peace, a peace that is spacious, unconditional, and radiant. A peace that does not depend on the state of the world but on the presence of the sacred. Om, as you already know, is the primordial sound, the cosmic hum from which all creation arises. It is the infinite contained in a single vibration. It prepares the body, the breath, the field, for whatever follows. In this mantra, Om becomes the invitation, the breath that opens the gate, Then come the three Shantis. Why three? In the Vedic tradition, each Shanti is directed toward a different form of suffering, a trinity of disturbances that prevent peace from fully flowering. The first Shanti is for peace in the physical world, freedom from external disturbances, natural disasters, illness, environmental chaos, the things beyond our control that unsettle the body. The second Shanti is for peace in the internal world, freedom from mental disturbance, worry, anxiety, grief, desire, the fluctuations of the mind that create our suffering. And the third Shanti is for peace in the unseen, freedom from spiritual unrest, karmic entanglements, existential fear, the sense of separation from the divine, or the sacred, or whatever you name that still presence beneath all things. Om Shanti, 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 threefold peace. Peace for the world, peace for the self, peace for the soul. To chant this mantra is not only to seek refuge, it is to offer it to yourself, to others, to the space around you. It becomes a vibrational prayer whispered into the fabric of your reality. And what makes this mantra particularly suited for sleep is its simplicity. There are no complex syllables, no elaborate tonal structure, just breath, just intention, just a letting go. In fact, Shanti is often recited at the end of prayers and rituals in Hindu and Buddhist traditions. It is the closing, the seal, the settling, the sacred Amen of the East. Not a command, but a blessing. And tonight it will become your blessing. As you prepare to enter a new layer of rest, a deeper tier of inner space, allow this mantra to lead you, not forcefully but gently. Like a candle carried down a long hallway, each repetition another step, another breath, another invitation. You do not need to know anything more than this. You are ready. Not because you have perfected stillness, not because your thoughts are gone, but because you have arrived, again in the now. You have come to the place where peace is not something you must earn, it is something you must allow. Let your breath settle into its own rhythm now. Let the mind rest without argument. Let the body soften as if it were exhaling its own history. There is nothing you need to do now. No preparation, no perfection. Only listening, only being. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The first time you hear it, it may feel like a sound. The second, like an invitation. The third, like home. Allow the mantra to fill the room like warm air. Let it touch your skin. Let it move through your chest. Let it wrap around your spine. Do not resist the stillness it offers. Even if silence feels unfamiliar. Even if peace feels out of reach. The mantra is not asking you to believe in peace. It is asking you to sit in its presence. To remember its feel, its weightlessness, its naturalness. And if you cannot feel it now, that is fine. The mantra will wait. The mantra will work, even through numbness, through tension, through doubt. Because Shanti is not a concept. It is a state, a vibrational field, a frequency you already know. You knew it in the womb, when sound was muffled and heartbeat was music. You knew it as a child, in moments when the world was simple and soft. You knew it now, beneath all thought. Let the mantra awaken that memory. Not louder, not stronger, just truer, whispered or internal. It changes the very space in which you lie. It transforms the environment, not because it rearranges the furniture, but because it changes how you inhabit the moment. It's like water settling in a bowl, like the last ring of a bell that no longer needs to be struck. And you tired, perhaps restless, perhaps quietly calm, you are ready to receive that vibration. Let the mantra wash over you like moonlight. Let the peace descend not as a flash, but as a soft unfolding. You do not need to chase peace. You are made of it. You do not need to deserve rest. It is your nature. And in this moment, you return to that nature. Each shanti softens something. The first relaxes the muscles. The second slows the breath. The third opens the chest. All together, they open the door. And behind that door is not sleep as escape, but sleep as return. Sleep as homecoming. Sleep as healing. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let the mantra begin to repeat itself now, in the background of your awareness. Let it become a rhythm, a lullaby, a whisper, a prayer without direction. Peace for the body, peace for the mind, peace for the soul. You are held. You are home. Let it continue. Let it deepen. Let it work. Let it be. To understand the sacredness of a sound is to understand how it is carried through time, through ritual, through breath, through the heart. The mantra Om Shanti, Shanti Santi has not survived across centuries by chance. It has been preserved through reverence, through repetition, through its role in the most delicate and powerful moments of human life. This is a mantra of conclusion, and yet it is anything but an ending. In the ancient Vedic traditions of India, from which this mantra arises, it is customary to end every spiritual practice, every prayer, every recitation of scripture, with these three words: Shanti, Shanti. The mantra is not simply a closing phrase. It is a seal, a sacred offering to protect what has been awakened during the practice. Its presence in traditional use is almost universal, spoken softly at the end of yoga sessions, intoned at the closing of a puja ceremony, whispered by teachers after philosophical discourse, and recited by families after daily prayer. In each case, the intention is the same: to invite harmony into every level of experience, and to extend that harmony beyond the self. But why 3 times? Why not 1? Why not endlessly? The ancient seers taught that suffering, dukkha, arises in 3 ways. The first, adibhaltika dukkha, is pain caused by the external world. Things we cannot control. The coldness of the wind, the heat of the sun, illness, natural disaster, death. This is the suffering of the elements. The second, adibhaltika dukkha, is pain that comes from within. Mental disturbance, emotional turbulence, physical discomfort, the restless mind, the wounded heart. The third, adibhaltika dukkha, is pain beyond explanation. Mysterious forces, karmic entanglements, spiritual confusion. When we chant Shanti 3 times, we do not pretend these sufferings do not exist. We name them. We bless them. We surround them with peace. It is a form of sacred integration, not avoidance. In this way, the mantra becomes both shield and salve. In many temples, especially in the South Indian and Himalayan regions, the mantra is intoned with increasing softness. The first Shanti, firm and clear, like the sound of wind moving through trees. The second softer, like the hush of water over stones. The third, barely audible, like breath itself disappearing into space. This descending cadence is intentional. It mirrors the journey inward, from the external world, to the body, to the soul. It is also common for the third Shanti to be spoken silently, not out of secrecy, but out of reverence. It is said that the deepest peace cannot be spoken. It can only be experienced. The silence after the third Shanti is in many ways the mantra's most powerful note. In Buddhist traditions, particularly those influenced by Indian teachings and Sanskrit language, Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti found its way into chants, blessings, and meditative transitions. While not exclusive to Buddhism, its vibration was so pure, so universally resonant, that it became adopted across paths that valued silence, clarity, and serenity. You may hear it at the close of a Dharma talk in a Zen center. You may hear it in the final bow of a Vipassana retreat. You may hear it whispered at the end of a Metta Bhavana meditation, loving kindness. And what is most remarkable is this: across all traditions that use this mantra, the tone is never grand. It is never dramatic. It is always soft, always reverent, always calm, because peace is not loud. Peace does not impose. Peace does not announce itself. It arrives like dew, like light on still water, like the hush of snow, and the mantra in its traditional form carries that same texture. Om Shanti. Shanti Shanti is also spoken at the moment of letting go. At the end of life, some teachers whisper it into the ears of the dying, not to command peace, but to guide the soul into it, not to explain death, but to wrap it in something kind. At cremation grounds, it is recited 3 times as the fire begins, reminding those gathered that peace can still exist even in grief, even in loss, even in uncertainty. This is the power of its use. It does not deny difficulty. It meets it. It walks with it. And this is why we now bring it into sleep, because sleep too is a letting go. Sleep is a small death. Sleep is a sacred closure. We end the day as we end a ceremony, with Shanti. Not because the day was perfect, not because we figured everything out, but because we are choosing to bless it, to seal it, to soften what remains. The traditional use of this mantra is, at its core, an act of radical compassion. Compassion not only for ourselves, but for the entire field of being. We do not say Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti to isolate ourselves in peace. We say it to ripple peace outward, to create a field that extends beyond our skin, to say, may all beings be free of disturbance. May the animals in the night be safe. May the winds be kind. May the dreams be gentle. May the pain, wherever it hides, soften. This is the secret of traditional use. The mantra is not only sound, it is intention. And intention is vibration. And vibration carries across dimensions. You are not just preparing yourself for sleep. You are preparing the space, the room, the bed, the air. You are placing the mantra into the corners, like flowers offered at an altar. You are clearing. You are quieting. You are honoring. Even now, if you wish, you can feel that extension. As you prepare for the next phase, chanting, listening, dissolving, you are entering into a lineage of softness. You are not speaking to be heard. You are speaking to harmonize. You are not chanting to get something. You are chanting to return. Let this traditional use guide you now. Let the mantra become what it was always meant to be. Not a tool, not a trick, but a blessing, a prayer, a peace offering to the present moment. Let it be whispered or spoken, or simply breathed. Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti. One for the body, one for the mind, one for the soul. Let the silence after the third be longer than the rest. Let it be the door, and beyond it, sleep. There is a kind of music that does not need melody, a kind of rhythm that does not need a beat. It is the rhythm of breath, of presence, of quiet repetition, that carries more than sound. It carries spirit. It carries peace. This is where we are now. Not in instruction, not in philosophy, but in practice. You do not need to know anything more. You do not need to understand anything deeper. You are ready. You are already here. And here is exactly where the mantra lives. Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti. 6 syllables. 1 inhale, 1 exhale, 1 breath at a time. We begin not with the voice, but with stillness. Close your eyes, if they are not already closed. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Let your hands rest wherever they are. Let the belly soften. Let the jaw go slack. Now feel the inhale, through the nose, or the mouth, whatever is most natural. Let it be easy. There is no need for a deep breath. Let it come as it will. Now the exhale, slow, gentle, just enough to feel the body settle. Again, inhale, exhale, one more time. But now, as you exhale, let the mantra rise, not loudly, not sharply, but like mist over water. A long, open vibration. It begins in the belly, moves through the chest, and exits softly from the lips. There is no rush. Shanti. Let it follow naturally. The tongue touches lightly. The voice trails. Let it fade. Shanti. Softer this time. Not because you try, but because it wants to be. Shanti. Almost a whisper. Perhaps even unspoken. A breath. A thought. A wish. Then silence. Let the silence after the third Shanti stretch. Do not fill it. Let it hold you. Let it be part of the mantra. This is your rhythm now. Not mine. Not anyone else's. Yours. You may choose to repeat aloud with me. You may choose to whisper. You may choose to say the words only in your breath. You may choose to think them as you drift. There is no wrong way. The only way is the one that feels effortless. Let us begin again. Om Shanti, 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 and breathe. Let the sound dissolve. Again. Om Shanti, 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 and breathe. Notice if your breath has changed. Notice if your thoughts have slowed. Notice if your chest has softened. These are not goals. They are gifts. Let us continue. Together. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Each time, let it be softer. Each time, let it be more internal. Let it stop being you chanting. Let it become the mantra chanting itself through you. Let the sound arise from stillness. Return to stillness. Let the silence between syllables speak. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let your awareness rest in the pauses. Let the mantra carry you. You do not have to think. You do not have to guide. You are being guided. The mantra knows where to go. Let it move through your body like water, through your limbs, through your breath, through your skin. Let it settle in the heart. Let it touch the space behind the eyes. Let it sink into the belly. Let it anchor in the spine. Again, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There may be a sensation of lightness, or of grounding, of warmth, or stillness, or perhaps no sensation at all. That is perfect. You are not here to feel anything in particular. You are here to allow, to open, to dissolve. Let the mantra repeat. Now I will begin to speak less, so that you can hear more. Let your own rhythm guide you. If your mind wanders, return to the sound, return to the breath, return to now. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let it breathe through you, like wind through trees, like tide across shore. If sleep comes, let it comes. Let the mantra echo beneath consciousness. Let it remain in the background, like the pulse of the earth, like the beat of your heart. Let it be. You are being sung. You are being blessed. You are being held. In this moment, in this sound, in this stillness. Even as the voice fades, even as you forget the words, the vibration remains. It becomes the very air you breathe. It becomes your home. Let go of the sound now. If you wish, let it fade. Let it soften into silence. Or keep repeating. There is no finish line. Only presence. Only peace. Only return. And in the return is rest. And in the rest is healing. And in the healing is the heart. And in the heart is Shanti. There are moments when the inner eye begins to open, not as sight, but as space, not as image, but as presence. As we rest in the vibration of Om Shanti, 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 a new dimension becomes available. The world behind closed eyes. A world not made of matter, but of awareness. A landscape shaped not by memory, but by resonance. This is the space of sacred visualization. Visualization, in contemplative practice, is not fantasy. It is not imagination in the ordinary sense. It is a refinement of perception, a way of listening with the eyes of the soul. What we see here is not separate from who we are. It is a mirror, a messenger, a sacred symbol. And tonight we are invited to walk into that mirror, not to analyze, not to interpret, but to rest within it. Let the body remain still. Let the breath remain soft. Let the mantra continue faintly in the background. Now gently bring your attention behind your forehead, just above the space between your eyes. This is not concentration. This is witnessing, like watching a flame from a distance. Now with the eyes of the heart, begin to see, begin to feel. A landscape emerges. There is a vast field, open, spacious, gently lit by the light of early dawn. The air is cool, but not cold. The breeze is soft, but not silent. Everything here moves in rhythm. The grasses bend and rise with your breath. The sky changes tone with your thoughts. This is your sacred field. This is where the mantra has brought you. Ahead, a lake appears. Still, wide. Its surface like glass, reflecting the sky, the trees, the light within you. You walk slowly toward it, though you do not feel your feet. There is no urgency. As you reach the shore, notice how the water invites without command. You kneel. You gaze into its surface, and you see not your face, but a light. A steady, quiet light. This is the peace the mantra speaks of. It is not a concept. It is a presence. You reach your hand into the lake. The ripples move outward, and with each ring of motion, a word is released. Shanti. Peace in your bones. Shanti. Peace in your breath. Shanti. Peace in your spirit. The ripples continue outward. Beyond the lake, beyond the horizon, you are not sending peace. You are becoming it. Let yourself dissolve into this lake. If you wish, float upon it. Sink within it. There is no danger here. Only depth. Only warmth. Only return. Let the mantra continue, even if only in breath. Om Shanti. 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 Now see the sky. It is neither night nor day. It is that sacred in-between, where stars are still faintly visible, and light is just beginning to arrive. From above, a soft white mist descends. It is not cold. It is not heavy. It is made of silence. Let it touch your skin. Let it wrap around your shoulders. Let it enter your chest. This is the mist of letting go. It carries no expectation, no demand, only rest, only gentleness, only peace. Now imagine a single lotus flower appearing at the center of the lake. White, wide, unmoving. Its petals are open but not in bloom. They are always blooming. And inside that lotus, a light pulses, not blinding, not flashing, just steady. Steady like the breath of the earth. Steady like the rhythm of your own sleep when you are safe. That light is your peace, not a new light, not a borrowed light, but your original nature. The mantra has not created it. It has uncovered it. Let yourself sit beside this flower, or within it, or become it. There is no wrong way to rest in peace. The mantra continues softly, but now it no longer speaks to you. It speaks as you. There is no separation. You are the sound. You are the stillness. You are the field. You are the light in the lotus. Breathe now, not to do something, but to feel what it is like to breathe as peace. Breathe as stillness. Breathe as Santi. You may begin to drift. You may feel the body grow heavier. That is the lake welcoming you. That is the earth receiving your weight. That is the mantra rocking you. If thoughts arise, let them move through the sky of this inner world. They are clouds. They are passing. The sky remains. You remain. The mantra remains. Now release the image of the field if it begins to dissolve. Let the lake fade. Let the flower close. Or remain. If that feels true, there is no need to control the vision. It belongs to the same current that guides the breath. Let it take you. And as you fall deeper into stillness or sleep, know that the visualization was not a journey away from self. It was a return to the world where peace was never absent, where stillness was always present, where Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, was not a sound, but a home. A home you carry now wherever you go. A home you return to whenever you rest. A home made of breath, of light, of silence. Sleep now if it comes. Rest if it doesn't. The mantra holds you. The lake holds you. The light holds you. And the sky wide and wordless sings nothing but your name. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Silence is not the absence of sound. Silence is the presence of something deeper, something that remains after the vibration fades, after the chant dissolves, after the body surrenders and the breath forgets it is being watched. Silence is the echo of truth that does not need to be spoken to be understood. Now that the mantra Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti has been offered, again and again softly, sincerely, in voice and in breath, this is the moment we do not chant. This is the moment we listen. This is where integration begins, not in doing, not in repetition, but in stillness. You have repeated the sacred sounds not to produce a result but to create a space where peace could enter, could remain, could take root. That space is here. It is now, and it is alive within you. Let your body be still. No further adjustments are needed. Even the urge to perfect posture, to deepen breath, can now release itself. There is nothing more to prepare, nothing more to complete. You are already complete. Let the body breathe as it wishes. Let the breath be soft. Let the mouth close or part as it chooses. Let the shoulders fall. Let the eyes soften behind closed lids. And now listen. Listen not with the ears but with the skin, with the bones, with the space behind the sternum. What remains now is presence, not thought, not instruction, not image, not desire, just presence, just Shanti. You may feel it as a quiet buzz under the surface of your skin, or as a warmth in the chest, or as a gentle ringing in the silence around you, or nothing at all. But it is here. It is here because you invited it. It is here because it was never not here. The mantra did not summon peace, it revealed it. Like wiping dust from a mirror, like opening a window on a still morning. What you are feeling, this stillness, this silence, is not emptiness. It is fullness without form. It is rest without requirement. It is peace without condition. And now you are invited to dwell in it. You may begin to drift into sleep. That is welcome. You may feel the need to linger in this quiet without moving forward. That too is welcome. This is not a transition. This is the practice. This is not the moment before rest. This is rest. And in this rest, something rare occurs. The layers of the self, physical, emotional, energetic, begin to harmonize. You may feel old tensions loosening. You may feel the mind not emptying, but expanding, thoughts becoming spacious. You may feel the boundaries of the body becoming less distinct, as if the skin itself is dissolving into space. This is not detachment. This is unity. This is the sacred rhythm of integration. This is the field where the mantra becomes part of your being, not as memory, but as vibration. No longer a phrase you recite, but a presence you carry. You are not separate from the sound. You are the echo it leaves behind. Let that echo settle in the body. Let it fill the hollows of the heart. Let it vibrate in the marrow. Let it circle around the breath. Let it hum beneath the skin. You do not need to hold it. You only need to not resist it. Let it continue. In stillness, in silence, in the space between inhale and exhale. Let it guide you. Even if you forget it, it will remember you. Even if you fall asleep, it will continue its work. Even if your mind wanders, your body will still respond to its touch. Let the stillness stretch. Let the peace extend beyond your skin, into the room, into the space beyond the walls. Let it touch the night. Let it touch the world. Let it touch the spaces that ache. Let it soothe what words cannot. This is the power of sacred silence. It is not passive. It is not empty. It is alive. It is the final syllable of the mantra, spoken not aloud, but felt. A Shanti so deep it no longer needs to be said. It simply is. Now, if thoughts arise, let them float. Let them be leaves on a river you no longer need to follow. Let them pass. You are not thought. You are the space it moves through. You are not the mantra. You are the stillness it points to. You are not the seeker. You are what has always been sought. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to understand. The practice is not what came before. The practice is now. The breath, the stillness, the silence, the echo of Shanti. Let it be your blanket. Let it be your night sky. Let it be the hush between heartbeats. You may sleep now, or you may not. It does not matter. You are already resting. You are already whole. You are already held. Let the silence continue, for as long as it wishes. Let the mantra remain unspoken. Let the breath be the only sound. Let the sacred remain simple. And in this simplicity, know this: you have arrived at the temple of yourself, at the doorstep of the eternal, at the still point of all things. This is peace. This is Shanti. This is the mantra's final gift, and it is yours to keep. Not all mantras are long. Some speak in whispers. Some are brief, so brief that they seem to pass before they begin. And yet within these simple sounds, entire universes reside. What cannot be explained in volumes is often revealed in a breath. Om I Hum. 3 syllables, 3 gateways, 3 vibrations that map the entire territory of the human experience. Body, speech, mind. This mantra is older than memory. It predates borders and beliefs. It lives in the breath of Himalayan winds, in the stillness of the high plateau temples, in the silence between thoughts. Tonight it lives in you. Om I Hum is known as the seed syllables, Bija mantras of the enlightened body, speech and mind of the Buddha. In Vajrayana Buddhism, it is often used to prepare the practitioner, to purify, to center, and to awaken the subtle energies that align one with the awakened state, not as concept, not as goal, but as embodiment, as experience. Let us begin with the first sound. Om. You've heard it before. The primordial vibration, the hum of the universe, the syllable of origin. In this mantra, Om is the body, the physical form through which awareness expresses itself. This includes your arms, your spine, your hands, your heartbeat, the aches, the restlessness, the relaxation. It includes all of it, sacred, alive. Om purifies the body, not by changing it, but by reminding it of what it is beneath tension and fatigue. It is the tuning of the body back into presence, into stillness, into alignment with the greater rhythm of being. Ya. The second syllable. It is the breath of speech, the vibration of the voice. In the teachings, this is the speech of the Buddha, not merely words but true expression. It is the bridge between inner world and outer form. But I, Hu, does not ask you to speak. It reminds you of the sacredness of silence, of breath as communication, of sound as offering. Om purifies speech, not just in what we say to others, but in how we speak to ourselves. It softens the inner voice. It releases the sharpness of self-criticism. It opens the throat chakra gently, like a gate long unopened. And then Hum, the final syllable, the vibration of the awakened mind, not the analytical mind, not the thinking mind, the aware mind. The hum resonates in the heart of being. It is the vibrational signature of spacious consciousness, free, clear, vast like sky. In meditation, hum cuts through illusion. It does not solve thought, it dissolves it. And what remains is what was always here, the quiet watcher, the luminous awareness, the unshakable ground of presence. Om I Hum. In these 3 vibrations, a triad is formed: body, speech, mind, ground, bridge, sky, form, energy, awareness. You are not asked to understand this. You are asked to feel it, to allow the syllables to align the layers of your being, to allow them to purify not as force, but as invitation, to allow them to restore the forgotten coherence of self. When these 3 syllables are repeated, slowly, gently, with sincerity, they bring the practitioner into harmony. They act as tuning forks, realigning the frequencies of physical tension, emotional noise, and mental cloudiness. They are often used at the beginning of deeper mantric or tantric practice. But tonight, we do not chant them to begin something. We chant them to return. We chant them to descend, to rest, to open the subtle doors to sleep, not as an escape, but as sacred surrender. Let yourself feel the words first. Om, where do you feel it? In the skull, the spine, the hands? Oh, where does it vibrate? In the throat, the chest, the mouth? Om, where does it go? Into the heart, the silence behind your thoughts. Let them speak to you. Let them open you. This mantra is not decorative. It is functional. It is a key that fits the invisible locks we carry inside us. Locks we did not know we closed. Locks we do not need to keep. Locks we are ready to release. Om I Hum can be spoken aloud, whispered, or repeated in the quiet breath. Each has its own quality. Aloud, it harmonizes your outer and inner space. Whispered, it draws the vibration deeper into your body. Silently, it refines your attention into subtle awareness. You may choose any mode now. There is no correct one. There is only the sincere one. Om I Hum. Let the breath lead the sound. Let the sound ride the breath. Let the awareness witness it all. In Vajrayana visualization practices, sometimes these syllables are imagined as lights. Om, white light, resting at the forehead or the crown. Pure awareness, I Hum. Red light, glowing at the throat. Sacred speech. Om, blue light, pulsing in the heart. Spacious mind. You may choose to visualize these, or feel them, or simply breathe. The mantra works across all dimensions: image, sound, silence, presence. Let yourself receive. This mantra is not given from a teacher to a student. It is given from your higher self to your resting self, from the awake within you to the one ready to sleep, from the sacred to the sacred. Let Om bless the body. Let Ah quiet the breath. Let Hum calm the mind. Let them spiral inward. Let them dissolve into the bones. Let them settle in the bloodstream. Let them expand beyond skin. This is not metaphor. This is resonance. If you are lying down, feel how the body responds. Heavier now, softer. The face releases tension. The belly moves with ease. The legs are weightless. Let it continue. Om I Hum. In stillness, with breath, with heart. You are not chanting a mantra. You are returning to alignment. You are bathing in sound light. You are remembering the sacred map of being. You are allowing the vibration to sing you into sleep, or stillness, or grace. And when the mantra fades, when the voice stops, when the breath slows, it does not end. Its echo remains, in the pulse, in the breath, in the quiet. You are not ending a chant. You are entering what the chant prepared. Sleep, or stillness, deeper than sleep. The space beneath thought, the home beneath effort. Om by speech, mind, aligned, blessed, quiet, ready. There is a kind of healing that does not come from medicine. A kind of release that does not arise from fixing, or analyzing, or effort. It is the healing that comes from returning to wholeness, from remembering that the self is not broken, that suffering, while real, is not the final truth of who we are. It is in this spirit that we meet the next mantra. Tayata, Om Bikanze, Bikanze, Maha Bikanze, Radza Samadgate Soha. It is longer than the others. It moves like a prayer. It unfolds like a river, flowing gently, but purposefully toward the sea. And at its heart lies one of the most revered figures in the entire Mahayana Buddhist tradition, the Medicine Buddha. His name is Paisa Jai Guru, the master of healing, the one who heals with light. His image is often shown with blue skin, like the deep lapis lazuli of ancient stones. In one hand he holds a bowl of healing nectar, in the other, a myrobalan plant, the symbolic medicine of the ancient world. But his healing is not physical alone. His presence is invoked to cure the root causes of suffering, not just symptoms. His mantra does not just soothe the body, it purifies the field of mind, karma, and delusion. It reminds the soul of its natural coherence. Let us break down the mantra. Tayata. It is like this, an invocation of truth, of recognition, of surrender. It affirms the reality of what is before asking for transformation. Om, the sacred syllable of universal vibration. It centers the body, breath and field in alignment. Bikanze, bikanze. Eliminate illness. Eliminate it. The repetition is deliberate. One for the body, one for the mind. A dual cleansing, a vibrational washing. Maha Bikanze, great elimination of illness. This is the deeper work, the karmic release, the dissolving of the subtle knots of suffering we do not even know we carry. Radha Summit Gate, Supreme Being, who has gone beyond. This honors the Medicine Buddha, the one who has crossed the sea of samsara and returned to guide others. It is also an affirmation that within us too is this capacity to go beyond illusion. Soha, a word of offering, of sealing, of anchoring the intention into reality. It means may this take root in my mind. Altogether, this mantra is not a request, it is a sacred alignment, a vibrational surgery performed not on the skin, but on the field beneath the skin, not on the thoughts, but on the energetic matrix that holds them. It is used in monasteries during healing rituals. It is whispered by monks over bowls of water that will be used to wash the sick. It is printed on cloth and stone and wood. It is recited by the dying, not to delay death, but to meet it with clarity and peace. It is said that even hearing this mantra spoken once can plant the seed of liberation in the heart of suffering. That seed is now being planted in you. As you hear these words, whether in waking attention or in the haze of approaching sleep, allow the mantra to move as it wishes. There is no need to repeat it aloud, unless you feel called. Listening is enough. Receiving is enough. Presence is enough. Let us repeat it slowly, as it is traditionally chanted. Tayata, Om Bikanze, Bikanze, Maha Bikanze, Radha Summit Gate Soha. Allow each cluster of syllables to echo. Do not rush, let it unfold. Tayata, thus it is, the bow to reality. Om Rice, the breath of presence. Bikanze, feel the soft insistence of healing, like waves washing the shore. Maha Bikanze, a deeper pull, a wider release. Radha Summit Gate, the image of light crossing water, of the healer rising from the center of your being. Soha, a pause, a planting, a stillness. Let the mantra repeat again. Let it move like a current through your inner space. Feel it touch the places that hold pain, not to judge, not to remove, but to witness, to bless, to make room for rest. The body holds memory. Sometimes the body cannot sleep because it is busy holding what we have not released. This mantra says to the body, you are safe now. You do not have to keep everything. You are allowed to rest. And the body listens. The breath softens. The belly opens. The jaw releases. The nervous system shifts, subtly, quietly, into parasympathetic tone. The mode of digestion, of repair, of surrender. You may begin to feel warmth, or coolness, or gentle vibrations in the limbs, or nothing at all. Do not look for signs. Do not seek outcomes. The medicine works in silence. The mantra is your permission slip to let go. It is not a spell. It is not a performance. It is a return to the original state. Before stress, before noise, before forgetting. It is said that the light of the medicine Buddha is blue for a reason. Because blue is the color of deep water, of spacious sky, of cooling relief. Let that color fill your inner space now. As you lie still, see the blue light washing through your body from crown to feet, not flooding, flowing, not forcing, soothing. It moves through the head, clearing tension, worry, loops, through the throat, loosening words unspoken, fears held inside, through the chest, softening old ache, making room for breath, through the belly, calming the restless gut, the fire of worry, through the limbs, unwinding effort, laying down the burden, out through the soles of the feet, released into the earth. You are not pushing the pain away. You are letting it be witnessed by light. That is healing. That is enough. As the mantra continues, you may begin to drift. You may begin to float, not out of body, but deeper into it. You may begin to feel the edges of self dissolve. Let it happen. This is not disconnection. This is expansion. This is remembering your original shape, wide, luminous, free. If thoughts arise, let the mantra meet them. Let it wash over them. If restlessness returns, let the sound hold it. No thought is stronger than this vibration. No fear more ancient than this light. Let the mantra remain now, repeating softly in the breath or in the space around you. Let it work. Let it bless. Let it return you to the sacred ground of healing sleep. Tayata, Om Bikanze, Bikanze, Maha, Bikanze, Radza Semet Gate, Soha. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are not unfinished. You are not forgotten. You are healing. Now in this breath, in this silence, in this sacred sound. Sleep, if you wish, or remain here, in sacred stillness. Both are perfect. The mantra continues, and so does the healing. There are times when healing does not begin with answers, but with rhythm. Not with explanations, but with breath. Not with motion, but with sound that carries us gently, like a river too still to disturb, into deeper waters of being. You are here now, not to fix, not to force, but to feel, to receive, to allow. The mantra of the medicine Buddha is not chanted to cure in the medical sense. It is not a formula for the body alone. It is a vibrational remembrance, a realignment, a harmonizing of the subtle threads that connect your body, your mind, your soul, and your longing for peace. You've already heard its meaning. You've already felt its presence. Now we enter its rhythm, slow, still, steady. Each line is a breath. Each breath is a doorway. Each doorway leads deeper, not away from self, but into the self that suffers and seeks peace in the same breath. Let the body rest now. Let it be heavy. Let it be weightless. Let it belong to the earth. Let your hands fall naturally, palms open or closed, resting wherever they are. Let your eyes soften or remain gently closed. Now feel the breath. Not deep, not deliberate, just breath, just air, entering and leaving. The mantra will join this breath. The sound will ride the exhale. The silence will receive the inhale. We begin. Tayata, a word that means it is like this, a bow to what is, a surrender to now. Say it gently, or hear it gently. On the vibration of origin, the hum that calls all things into being. Let it resonate in the chest, in the crown, in the spaces in between. Bikanze, first healing, body. Let the sound stretch. Let it move through the arms, the back, the jaw. Bikanze. Second healing, mind. Feel it draw out tension from behind the eyes, from within the breath. Maha Bikanze. Great healing, deep clearing. This is the echo that reaches the hidden places, places you've forgotten you were holding. Radza Samit Gate. You do not need to understand these words. Let them move through you like wind through forest. They carry the vibration of one who has gone beyond and invites you to do the same. Soha. Let it land. Let it plant. Let it rest. Now breathe. One full cycle of the mantra. Now silence. Let the echo settle. Let the space hold you. Now we repeat, softly, rhythmically, almost like a lullaby that forgets it's being sung. Teyata. Om Bikanze. 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 Moha Bikanze. Let the breath follow. Bikanze. Exhale with sound. Again. Teyata. Om Bikanze. Bikanze. Moha Bikanze. Radza Samit Gate. Soha. If you are chanting, let it be soft. Let it be slow. Let it be for no one else but your own beat. If you are listening, let the voice be like water across skin. Let it wash. Let it soothe. Let it sink. Again. Teyata. Om Bikanze. Bikanze. Moha Bikanze. Radza Samit Gate. So feel the body responding. Not instantly, but surely. The muscles slacken. The heart slows. The nervous system receives the message. You are safe. You are safe. You are healing. You are home. Let the mantra repeat now without my guidance for a moment. Let your breath and the mantra find their own tempo. Let the repetition soften until it becomes something quieter than speech, something quieter than thought. Let it continue. If you drift, let it drift with you. If you forget the words, let them forget themselves. The mantra will remember. It does not need you to say it perfectly. It needs only sincerity, only presence, only breath. Now return. Teyata. Om Bikanze. Bikanze. Moha Bikanze. Radza Samit Gate. Soha. Once more. With no effort, only presence. Teyata. Om Bikanze. Bikanze. Moha Bikanze. You may feel yourself floating, not away, but inward. This is not detachment. It is a return to center, where pain is not denied, but seen, where fear is not fought, but held, where the healing begins not as a miracle, but as stillness. You are not trying to fall asleep. You are not trying to let go. You are being carried by sound, by breath, by presence. The mantra continues. Whether you speak it or not, it hums in the space behind your ribs. It vibrates in the bloodstream. It remains in the rhythm of your breath. Let go of the words now if you wish. Let the sound dissolve. Let it become silence. Let silence become sleep, if it comes, or stay in stillness. That too is healing. That too is perfect. You have chanted enough. You have listened enough. You have arrived. Let the echo of the mantra be your cradle. Let the silence after it be your blanket. Let your body lie as if in the lap of the medicine Buddha himself, his hand above your head, his light around your heart, his voice now inside your breath, healing, harmonizing, holding, now and through the night. Some healing begins not with touch, but with vision, not the kind that comes through the eyes, but the one that arises behind them, the inner vision, the felt sight, the sacred imagination. In this space, sound becomes light, light becomes memory, and memory becomes something older than language, something sacred. You are now invited into that space, a space shaped by stillness, softened by the mantra you've just repeated, anchored in breath. This is not fantasy. This is not invention. This is sacred witnessing. Close your eyes, if they are not already closed. Let the breath move as it wishes. Let the body be completely still. Let no part of you need to participate. Only awareness is needed now. Behind your closed eyes, allow the darkness to soften, not into brightness, but into depth. A depth that feels endless, but not empty. It is vast, like space, like sky, and in this space, a color begins to form, not painted, not forced. It appears as it chooses, blue, luminous, deep, the color of lapis lazuli, the color of sacred water in the mind of the earth. This is not just color, it is presence. It begins to gather in one point, far in the distance, or very close. It is not clear yet, only that it is pulsing, rhythmic, alive. This is the field of healing. Now, from this field, light begins to spread, soft rays, not harsh, not sudden, but alive, intelligent, and infinitely gentle. The rays come toward you. They do not rush. They arrive as if they have always known where you were, as if they have been sent just for you, and they begin to touch the edges of your body, your hands, your feet, your spine. Each point of contact dissolves a tension, a story, a burden. This is the blessing of the medicine Buddha, and now you begin to see him, not a figure outside of you, but a light form, a presence, seated, still, composed, blue as sky before dawn, eyes half closed in boundless compassion, hands resting in a gesture of offering. In one, a bowl of nectar, in the other a healing plant. He is not looking at you, he is looking through you, seeing all of you, not judging, not fixing, just witnessing. And as he sees, light flows from him to you, not like beams, but like warmth. Like water that doesn't wet, but penetrates. It enters your chest, it enters your belly, it enters the spaces behind your thoughts. It enters your joints, your breath, your bones. It does not go where you tell it. It goes where you've needed it most, where you have carried what could not be said, where you have stored what could not be released. Let it move, let it flow. You do not need to guide it, only allow, only witness, only rest. If tears arise, let them fall. If nothing arises, that too is sacred. Now the space begins to change. You are no longer only in a body, you are floating in a field of blue, supported from all sides, held without hands. You are no longer you, in the small sense. You are awareness being bathed in light. Let go of images now. Let them dissolve. Let them become sensation. Let sensation become stillness. Let stillness become breath. And let breath dissolve too. You are not visualizing anymore. You are experiencing. You are not dreaming. You are remembering. This is your natural state. Open, unburdened, unhurried, whole. Feel now a warmth in the center of the chest, the heart center, behind the sternum. A glow, a radiance. It is not from outside. It is from within. It is the place where the mantra took root, where Bikanze has softened the walls you once needed, where Maha Bikanze has released the burdens you thought you had to carry forever, where Soha has sealed the healing with truth. Let that light remain. Let it hum. Let it expand just slightly, not as effort, but as invitation. Now, bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Imagine the same blue light flowing gently downward, through the legs, through the knees, into the earth beneath you. The light grounds you, not to trap you, but to support you, to remind you. Healing is not only transcendence, it is embodiment, it is rest within the real. Now allow one final image to arise. You are not in a bed, you are resting within a great open flower. Blue petals, soft and endless. You are at the center. Each petal breathes with you, opens as you exhale, closes gently as you inhale. Above you, the sky. Below you, earth. Around you, the mantra. Tayata Om Bikanze, Bikanze, Maha Bikanze, Radze Simudgate, Soha. It echoes, softly, everywhere, even as you no longer say it, even as you no longer hear it, even as you fall into dream, or into depth. It continues, it carries, it cradles, and in that cradle, you rest. In that rest you heal, in that healing, you return, not as someone new, but as someone whole. Sleep now, if it comes, or remain in stillness. Both are sacred, both are enough. The Buddha remains, the light remains, the mantra remains. You remain, at peace, at rest, in light, in healing, in silence. There is a silence that follows healing. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of completion. A stillness that doesn't ask for more. A space that says this is enough. And in that space, the echo of the mantra still vibrates, not as sound, but as memory, as presence, as subtle peace. This is where we are now. You have heard the mantra. You have felt its pulse. You have seen its light. You have rested in its rhythm. Now it dissolves, like incense after flame, like dew in the morning sun, like a breath, let go fully. And in that dissolution, something remains. Not the words, not the voice, not even the image, but something older than all of it. The field of healing. Let yourself now return fully into your body, not to grasp it, not to contain it, but to let it rest within presence. Let your attention slowly widen. Feel the support beneath you, the softness of fabric, the temperature of air on skin, the subtle movements of breath. You are not coming back. You are here. You never left. What changed was not location, but vibration. You are not a person who repeated a mantra. You are now a vessel where the mantra has bloomed. You carry its light, even now, even in sleep, especially in sleep. Let the final stillness be just that final. Not a waiting space before something else. Not a transition, but the destination itself. Let there be no more striving, no more reaching, no more thinking about what comes next. That is over. You are not being guided now. You are resting. You are resting in the echo. Let that echo be quiet. Let it slow, like ripples that fade without force. You may notice a deep comfort now, perhaps unfamiliar, perhaps profound. It is the comfort of having let go, of having surrendered the effort to change, fix, or control anything. You have stepped aside, and the mantra has done its work. It has entered the places you would never reach on your own. It has reached through memory, through body, through breath, and now it leaves only its trace. Like the warmth in the bed long after someone rises, like the scent of jasmine in the dark, like the weightless press of a hand no longer needed to hold. This is sacred closure, but it is not an ending. It is an unfolding. Let us now listen to what remains after the sound fades. What is here? Feel, sense. Let it speak. Let it settle. Let it say nothing. The absence of mantra is not emptiness. It is fullness without boundary, healing without language, stillness without object. Let the silence continue. Let it lengthen. Let it hold. Let your breath be slow, unmeasured, ordinary. Let your body be soft. Let your thoughts, if they still come, be like leaves on water. Nothing to grasp, nothing to name, just passing. You are not the thoughts. You are the space in which they rise. You are not even the breath. You are the witness behind the rhythm. And beyond that, beyond identity, name, effort, you are peace. Not peaceful, but peace itself. The field, the source, and the echo. This is the mantra's gift. It did not give you something new. It reminded you of what has always been, what was obscured, now revealed. Let that knowing rest in the heart, not as thought, not as concept, but as vibration, as warmth, as trust. You are allowed to rest now. You are allowed to sleep. You are allowed to be unguarded. You are allowed to be whole. If sleep comes, welcome it. If it does not, welcome that too. You are not waiting for peace. You are resting in it. Let the mantra be quiet now. Let the world be quiet. Let the breath be the only movement. And even that, let go. If the mind returns with questions, smile gently within yourself. There is nothing to answer. No more to practice. Only presence. Only stillness. Only this. If you feel yourself dissolving into something greater, let it happen. It is not losing self. It is losing what you are not. You are not the pain. You are not the story. You are not the tension. You are not the striving. You are the space that receives it all and holds it without effort. This is integration. This is rest. This is Soha, the final seal. A closing that blesses what came before and honors what comes next, even in dream. Now be still. Be quiet. Be free. Let the mantra sleep with you. Let the healing continue without sound. Let the silence sing. And in the deepest silence, remember, you are light. You are whole. You are held. You are home. It begins softly, just 6 syllables. But in them the entire path is held. All the teachings, all the prayers, all the suffering, all the release. 6 syllables, like 6 steps across a bridge of light that leads from confusion to clarity, from grasping to generosity, from fear to love. Om Mani Padme. This is the mantra of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Known in Tibetan as Chenrezig, in Chinese as Guanyin, in Japanese as Kannon, the one who hears the cries of the world and responds not with answers but with presence, not with control, but with love. He is the one who vowed not to enter nirvana until every being was free. And from his vow the mantra arose not as a magical phrase, but as the sound of his promise. It is said that this mantra contains the very essence of all Buddha's teachings, but more than that, it contains the vibration of compassion itself, a vibration that now lives in you. You are ready. You have softened through silence. You have been opened by healing. You have been grounded in stillness. Now comes the flowering, the blooming of the heart. Let us begin not with sound, but with feeling. Compassion is not a concept. It is a movement, an opening, not just for others, but for yourself, especially for yourself. Feel now your chest, not with your hand, with awareness. Behind the ribs, behind the breath, there is a tenderness there, perhaps faint, perhaps long buried. Let it show itself. Let it bloom, even if just a little. That is enough. This is the seat of Avalokiteshvara in you, not as a figure in history, but as the impulse within that cannot help but care. The part of you that breaks at another's pain, the part that longs to lift others even when you are low, the part that loves even when it has been hurt. That part is sacred. That part is Avalokiteshvara. That part is the mantra. Let's now look closely at the syllables. Each one corresponds to a realm of suffering. Each one transforms a poison into a wisdom. This is not metaphor. It is vibration at work. It is alchemy made of sound. Open purifies pride, transforms it into presence, into spacious being. It blesses the realm of the gods, the illusion of superiority. Ma purifies jealousy, softens it into equanimity. It blesses the realm of the jealous gods, those obsessed with comparison. Ma purifies passion and desire, transforms craving into discernment. It blesses the human realm, where attachment pulls at every turn, purifies ignorance, opens it into clarity. It blesses the animal realm, those who live by instinct alone, unaware of their sacred nature. Ma purifies greed, softens it into generosity. It blesses the hungry ghost realm, those who cannot be satisfied, no matter what they consume. Purifies hatred, melts it into unconditional love. It blesses the hell realm, where pain is turned outward in anger and rage. Together these syllables are not just sounds, they are tools. They are light entering shadow. They are medicine made of compassion. And when you say them, when you breathe them, when you simply hold them in your heart, they begin to shift something. Not always dramatically, but deeply, steadily, like melting snow on a mountain. Let them enter you now. Not to chant, just to sit with. Open, breathe it in, spacious, wide. Still, Ma. Feel the softening, in the shoulders, in the belly. Naklatamaming become light. Let breath deepen, pad. Let the mind clear. The fog dissolve. May. Open the hands. Let go. Let in. Hume. The heart now fully open, radiant. Unafraid. This is the mantra, as an inner architecture. A temple you carry. A bridge you walk. A rhythm you return to. Now feel the entire mantra. Open Mani Padme, Hume. Like a ripple through still water. Let it repeat. Let it carry no effort. Let it require no voice. Let it be breath. Let it be silence. Let it be you. You may visualize Avalokiteshvara, now, seated, still, smiling, hands in prayer at the heart. Eyes half open, not in detachment, but in profound listening. He hears everything, he feels everything, and he turns nothing away. You may imagine his form with 1,000 arms, each holding a tool of compassion. You may see him with 4 arms, holding a lotus, prayer beads, and a wish-fulfilling jewel. Or see no form at all, only light, only presence. Only the feeling of being held. Whatever you see, it is correct. You are not imagining a deity. You are remembering the compassion already within you, already in the space, already in the mantra. Open Mani Padme, Hume. Say it once more, gently, or let it say itself within you. The words will echo, and in that echo something will begin to shift. Walls will soften, tension will ease, judgment will loosen, not as a command, but as a natural effect of presence. You may feel a desire to send love now, to someone, to somewhere. That is the mantra's work. It makes the heart big enough for others, and big enough for you. You may begin to forgive. You may begin to allow. You may begin to rest. The mantra opens you, then holds you, then becomes you. This is not religion. This is not tradition. This is return. Return to the original kindness beneath all things, beneath the fear, beneath the sorrow, beneath the defenses. This mantra whispers, come home, not just to yourself, but to the part of you that loves without needing to understand, without needing to fix, without needing to try. Love is the healing, compassion is the rest, and open Mani Padme, Hume is its voice. Let it remain, softly, inside you, around you, within your sleep, within your dreams. It is your blanket now. It is your breath. It is your prayer, and it will carry you all the way into peace. There are certain sounds that do not ask to be spoken. They ask to be lived, to be breathed, to be held within the chest. like a quiet candle in a vast room. Open Mani Padme. Hum is such a sound. You do not chant it to perform. You do not repeat it to impress the divine. You repeat it because it opens a door. Because every time the syllables pass through your lips, or even your mind, that door opens wider, not to somewhere else, but to what was always inside you, waiting to be felt, waiting to be seen, waiting to be loved. Now let us enter the mantra, not as recitation, but as rhythm, as breath, as unfolding. Let your body be soft. You don't need to sit perfectly. You don't need to lie down with precision. You don't need to do anything. You are already enough, already ready, already here. Let your breath settle. Let the inhale arrive slowly. Let the exhale fall like rain. Feel the space between them, that tiny pause where stillness lives. This is where the mantra will rest, in the breath, in the space, in the heart. Now we begin. Inhale, open, feel the sound in your body. Not loud, just true. A vibration, a hum, a return. Exhale, ma, feel the jaws soften, the belly open, the breath deepen. Inhale, na, let it rise through the spine, a gentle pulse of presence. Exhale, pad, let it move through the throat, through the ribs, through the heart. Inhale, ma, let the light build here, at the chest, behind the breath. Exhale, hum, let it radiate, let it release, let it rest. That is one cycle. Now pause, let the silence between the last syllable and the next. Inhale, be long, be sacred, let it be enough, let it speak in its own voice. Now breathe again, and repeat, softly, either aloud, or in the breath, or silently in the heart. There is no correct way. There is only your way, your sincere, imperfect, whole way. Open ma, ma. Let it ride the breath. Let it shape the breath. Let it soften everything it touches. You may begin to feel yourself drifting. That is natural. You are not losing focus. You are entering compassion. You are not forgetting. You are remembering what it feels like to be allowed to rest, to be held, to be forgiven. Let the mantra continue. No need to control its pace. No need to match anyone else's voice. Let it be your rhythm. Let it be your heartbeat. Let it be the tide of your inner sea. Open Mani Padme. Again, let it melt thought. Let it soften sorrow. Let it open the parts of you that have been closed for years. Let the repetition become repetition no longer. Let it become prayer. Then let it become silence. Then let it become you. This is what mantra does. It does not impose. It invites. And with each round, each breath, each whisper, it brings you closer. To what? To kindness. To yourself. To everything that hurts, but no longer needs to be hidden. To every joy that once felt too fragile to trust. To the space that holds it all. This mantra is the voice of that space. Now rest in it. Let the mantra become quiet, still, whispered, or gone. Let it speak now in breath only. Inhale, presence. Exhale, compassion. Inhale, light. Exhale, love. You do not need to finish anything. There is no goal. You are not arriving at a better version of yourself. You are arriving at yourself. Full stop. The mantra is not a bridge to transformation. It is a mirror for what was already whole. Now breathe again. One more cycle, as a blessing. Open ma, na, ma, na, na, ma. Let it echo, not with sound, but with warmth. Let it rest in the body. Let it settle behind the eyes. Let it curl gently into your breath as you begin to fall into stillness, into sleep, into truth. And if the mantra continues as you drift, let it. If it repeats in dream, let it. If it fades, let it. Its work is done. And now, so is yours. Sleep now, or stay in quiet. Both are sacred. The mantra continues, even in silence, even in darkness, even in you, especially in you. Before we begin, return to the body. Feel its weight, not as heaviness, but as anchoring. Feel the space you occupy, the air around the skin, the support beneath your back or your seat. This is your sacred ground. This is the temple in which the mantra now lives. You are not separate from the sound you chanted. You are not apart from the compassion it called forth. It is still here, in the breath, in the bones, in the pulse. Let your breath soften. Let the rhythm be natural. Let the eyes close, or remain closed. There is no effort required. This is not a visualization to create. It is a sacred journey to receive. Now in your inner sight, allow an image to form, not by force, but by permission. Begin with a single petal, luminous, translucent, softly glowing in a golden pink hue, tinged in light violet. It floats in stillness, in spacious air. More petals begin to form. Slowly, symmetrically, they spiral into shape, opening, breathing, becoming. You are witnessing the blooming of a lotus. But this is not an ordinary flower. This is the Padme of the mantra, the sacred lotus that arises from the depths of murky waters, untouched by the mud, pure in its unfolding. It now opens at the center of your chest, behind the sternum, at the heart center, one petal at a time, unhurried, undisturbed, fully alive. You do not need to imagine it perfectly. You only need to feel it. A soft presence, a center expanding. Let that lotus be your heart, not your emotional heart, but your energetic heart, the throne of compassion, the seat of awareness. And now, resting within the open lotus, a jewel, brilliant, multifaceted, radiant from within. This is the Mani, the jewel of wisdom, not of knowledge, not of concepts, but of awakened understanding. It rests not as an object, but as a truth. The truth that compassion and wisdom are not separate. They arise together, like breath and body, like sound and silence, like light and space. Let this lotus and jewel rest in your chest. Let them shine. Let them breathe with you. With every inhale, the lotus pulses. With every exhale, the jewel glows brighter. This is the living meaning of open Mani Padme. Not a phrase, not a sound, but a space, a union, a state of being. You are not visualizing this. You are remembering it. You are witnessing something that was always there, just beneath the distractions, just beneath the doubts. Now from the lotus, light begins to radiate, not outwards, but inward, into your lungs, your spine, your throat, your belly. The light is soft. It does not burn. It warms. It wraps. It holds. Every part of you that was tense now begins to trust. Every cell that held fear now begins to open. Every corner of the self that clung to control now begins to surrender. Let this light spread. Let it move as it chooses. It is not being directed. It is being remembered. It knows where to go. Let it flow down your arms, to your palms, to your fingertips. Let it enter the hips, the thighs, the knees, the feet. Let it rise again into the skull, behind the eyes, across the scalp. Now let this light not stay in the body. Let it expand, slowly, beyond the skin, forming a gentle aura, a cocoon, a luminous field of compassion. You are now seated inside the mantra, not just saying it, not just hearing it, but living within it. You are inside the jewel, inside the lotus, inside the lotus, inside the breath of compassion itself. and there is no boundary, no edge, no separation. All is included here. All is forgiven here. All is allowed. In this space, there is no judgment, no urgency, no wrongness, only presence, only softness, only a deep knowing. You are already held. You are already whole. Let the mantra return now, not in words but in vibration. Let it hum softly from the center of your chest. Let it pulse with the rhythm of the glowing jewel. Let it sing in light, not in sound. Let it echo in breath, not in voice. This is your inner temple. This is your retreat from the noise of the world. This is where you return, when the mind forgets, when the body tightens, when the world feels heavy. And now you know the way. You know the petals. You know the jewel. You know the light. And most of all, you know the silence. It all rests within. Now stay here, in stillness, not to do, but to be. Let the jewel shine quietly. Let the petals breathe with you. Let the mantra whisper in light. Open Mani Padme, hum, not as sound now, but as atmosphere, as truth, as home. Let your breath be slower now. Let the body be heavier, or lighter. Let the halt pass. Let sensation drift. You are not leaving this space. You are becoming it. Let the jewel of compassion merge with your heart. Let the lotus dissolve into your breath. Let the mantra dissolve into your being. There is no longer a practice. There is only peace. There is only presence. There is only this. You may sleep. You may rest. You may simply remain. All is sacred. All is included. All is compassion. All is wisdom. Open Mani Padme, hum. You have walked the path of the mantra. You have heard the syllables, felt their breath, seen their light unfold within the sacred spaces of your being. Now we move beyond sound, beyond repetition, beyond even visualization. What remains is what always was, presence. This is where the mantra rests, not as a sound, not even as a memory, but as stillness. The stillness of the jewel, resting in the lotus. The stillness of a heart no longer reaching. The stillness of compassion that has no need to speak to be real. Let us enter that stillness. Now, together, begin by softening the breath. No need to deepen it, just soften it. Let it be natural, unforced, a tide that rises and falls with no intention, but to exist. Let the body rest into gravity. Feel where it is supported, the back of the head, the shoulders, the spine, the legs. Let go of holding, let go of lifting, let go of shaping, and bring your attention, not sharply but softly, to the center of your chest, to where the lotus bloomed, to where the jewel once shone. There is no need to see it now, no need to recreate the image. Only feel the space, feel the echo of the practice, as if the petals are still there, open, as if the light still lingers in the air around your skin. And in truth they are. The mantra is still here, but it no longer needs to be said. It vibrates now in silence. A silent mantra is no less powerful. It is often more so, because in silence, the mind stops pushing. The heart stops waiting, the body stops doing, and all that remains is knowing. Let that knowing grow. Let it unfold slowly, like warmth spreading in the center of the chest. Not heat, but presence. Let the mind soften. Thoughts may still rise. That's okay. You are not trying to empty the mind. You are allowing it to become more spacious, more fluid, more transparent. Thoughts arise, thoughts fall, but you remain, as stillness, as witness, as field. Let the space inside you grow, as if the boundaries of the body begin to dissolve. The edges soften, the self becomes open sky, and within that sky, open Mani Padme hum, without sound, without movement, only vibration. only memory, only peace. You are now resting in the afterglow of compassion, not the emotional kind, not sentiment, but the universal force of mercy that holds all beings, all pains, all wishes, all forgetting, and forgives it all. Feel that forgiveness now. You are not being forgiven for something. You are being returned to something, your own nature, before judgment, before identity, before story. This is the hum of the heart, without armor. This is what the mantra has opened. Let it stay open. Let yourself be held in that openness. Let yourself be seen by the awareness that sees all things without dividing them. Let yourself be loved, not by someone, not by a voice, but by existence itself. And in that love, rest. Let every muscle forget its purpose. Let the organs settle into rhythm. Let the blood slow. Let the breath fall away. Let the silence deepen, not into void, but into fullness. A fullness that has nothing to prove, that asks for nothing in return. Only presence, only peace. This silence is the true mantra. It is the space that gave birth to every sacred syllable. It is the language behind all languages. It is the home behind all seeking. Now you are there, not on the journey, but in the arrival. Let there be no more doing. Let there be no more effort. Let everything melt. Time, name, desire, fear, even sleep, if it comes, will not be different from this. It will only deepen it. You are not preparing to rest. You are resting right now, right here. And the mantra is still with you, as stillness, as breath, as the hum beneath all things. There is nothing more to say, nothing more to seek, only to remain, not alert, not asleep, just open, just held, just whole. Let the silence last as long as it wants. Let it grow until it becomes a presence more real than sound. Let it carry you. Let it become you. If the mantra ever returns in voice or thought, let it be welcomed. But if it does not, let the silence be your answer. The mantra has done its work, and now so have you. Nothing more to do, nothing more to say. This is the final moment, but it is not an end. It is the dissolving of form into essence. It is the quiet merging of all parts into presence. You have come this far, not by striving, not by forcing, but by surrender, by breath, by vibration, by silence. 5 mantras, 5 doorways, each one opened a different room within the sacred house of your being. Each room held its own wisdom, its own healing, its own silence. And now those rooms are no longer separate. The walls dissolve, the thresholds fade. What remains is one open space, one sanctuary. You are the space. You are the sound. You are the light that vibrated between syllables. Let us revisit, not in words, but in essence. Feel, without reciting, the imprint of the first mantra. Om Ahum, the cleansing breath, the sacred syllables that realigned your body, speech and mind, that brought you back to center, back to stillness, back to purity. Feel now its quiet hum, still resting in your bones, a silent centering. Then the second, Namo Amitofo, the call to light, to infinite compassion, to the one who welcomes all with eyes of mercy and a heart of radiance, the one who waits beyond the river of death, but also lives in the pulse of your breath. You called his name, and something softened. You called his name, and something opened. That name still lives within you. Now the third, Om Ter to Ter to Ter, Soha, the swift wind of release. Tera's mantra, green light, clearing fear, like fog before the sun. She who hears every cry, she who moves toward every wound. Let her presence still circle your breath, like a silent protection, like an invisible mother. Then the fourth, Tered, Bake, Kenze, Hanze, Maha, Hanze, Ridze Semet Gate Soha, the healing, the balm for unseen aches, the mantra that whispered, you are not broken, you are becoming. Let that mantra still work, silently, in the places no hand can reach. Let its light still hum, beneath your scars. And now the final mantra, Bake, Ken Make, Maha, the heart of all path, the jewel in the lotus, the stillness within the sound, the love within the silence. You did not just speak it, you entered it, you lived within it, and it lived within you. And now all 5 mantras remain, not as memory, not as echo, but as field, as atmosphere, as being. Let the breath deepen now, but not by effort, only by allowance. You are no longer meditating. You are no longer listening. You are simply being. You are the breath. You are the sound that rests behind silence. You are the stillness that holds the entire body without tension. Let this knowing remain, even if sleep comes, even in dream, even in waking tomorrow. Let it remain. This is not a practice to forget. It is not a ritual to complete. It is a return to the original self. The self that does not panic. The self that does not grasp. The self that is not separate from anything. There is no mantra for this self, because it is the mantra itself. The entire journey was not to reach a destination. It was to remember what never left. Now there is no more sound, only breath, and beyond breath, only awareness. Let it be wide, let it be soft, let it be quiet. If thoughts come, they are welcome, but they are not needed. If feelings rise, they are held, but they do not define. There is nothing to do now, only to rest, and so rest, sleep, if it comes, let go, completely. No resistance, no effort. Let the earth hold you. Let gravity carry you. Let the space between each cell widen into stillness. Let your body become the cradle of peace. Let your mind float. Let your heart shine without form. And if you drift, know that nothing is lost. The mantras have become part of your breath. Your sleep is now sacred. Your rest is now prayer. The universe chants through you, and in that chanting, all suffering softens, all stories fade, all separation dissolves. You are home, you are peace, you are sacred, sound, returning to silence. You are sacred, silence, returning to the heart. Let everything go, even the letting go. Let go, then simply be.